Hey everyone, and welcome to the first episode of AWBoy'Z. I just wanted to record this intro because I wanted to shout out some people and I wanted to give some quick backgrounds and warnings. So, I've never hosted a podcast before, but I've had some experience with the Strong Stylish crew, with Sonoda and with Pedro, who are awesome and amazing, and their podcasts. Strong Stylish, as well as Pedro's The Outlet, are really, really worth your listening. They put out some really great stuff, especially at the end of the year. They just had a two-parter episode or one really big one. It's really, really good stuff, and I can't recommend them enough. Also, I want to shout out the actress stage crew, Velke and Sandre. Velke has wanted me to do this for years, and it's finally happening. And I wanted to make this kind of a complementary piece to what they're doing. They do more like analysis and review, and they have a lot of fun with it, and they're really, really great guys to listen to, and they're very knowledgeable, and they put out a great thing. And what I wanted to do was do something a bit different, where they review and dive into it. We're gonna kind of preview it. I want to give you and the listeners all the tools you need to really get into the promotion without spoiling anything with that. So I want you to be able to just fire up an episode before you watch a Korakuen show and go, okay, I have everything I need. I understand what's going to happen. We also do a pretty long part about attending a show live, and I know that that's not going to be relevant to a lot of you. So when we get into that, you can actually kind of skip over that if you're not going to be at a show. But I wanted to have that out there so anyone who's going to a show, even in the future, could just kind of go back and watch it or listen. And then, big oversight on my part was I forgot to include Nene Arahata in the battle royale that's going to be at Korakuen, and I wanted to shout her out because I feel bad for not including her and for her being the first person I would talk about on the podcast in the intro. Uh, Considering she is actually a really cool wrestler, really cool person, an actress, and somebody who reminds me a lot of my favorite wrestlers as a kid, watching WCW mid Carter stuff on Worldwide and Saturday Night and those B shows, WCW Pro. She's got Spine Buster. She's got a whole bunch of cool stuff going on, and she's got a torture rack, Argentine backbreaker, really fun wrestler to watch, and an enforcer of Beast Rebellion. So I want to shout her out first. I'm going to edit her in as well later on. But yeah. With that, though, we're going to head to the episode. It's about 2 hours. I want to keep it on out. I didn't quite get there, but with this intro being a few minutes as well, just making the problem worse. But we cover a lot, and I hope that you find value in what we covered. And yeah, so thank you for listening, and here we go. Hello, and welcome to the first episode of AWBoy'Z, an unofficial Actress Girls podcast hosted by me, SadJabroni. This episode's guest should be a familiar name to any English-speaking AWG fan, the longtime fan and flag bearer for the promotion, Chris 2K Lee. Chris, introduce yourself.
Hello, guys. It is I from the Twitter. I still call it that. And this is Chris 2K Lee, also known as Burning Ham Eater. A joke that I made only because I could not think of a joke to make about the Victoria driver. I couldn't make a funny Victoria driver name. So I'm Burning Ham Eater, and I am here to talk about the greatest promotion of people that are acting in a ring, not wrestling.
Not wrestling.
Not wrestling, guys. Let's just lay down that right now.
Not at all.
Yeah.
All right.
So what's on the thank you for hosting, by the way, SadJabroni. Highly appreciated.
Thanks, Chris. And so now Chris has introduced himself, a little background on me. So I previously ran the unofficial English Twitter, and I currently host the unofficial AWG info website in English, which is awg.wrestlinggood.com, and that's got profiles of wrestlers. It's got performers, profiles of performers, profiles
Yes,
of
performers.
alumni, former actress girls who are now in other promotions or freelancing and or retired. And also I have the different groups, so the different units in actress girls, and also a very kind of high level look at what's going on in ARG,
Yes, the
which we'll
actor.
dive into that a little bit more later as we get through the podcast. Uh, but if you really want to follow along and see what's going on with the different things, who's who, it's a great resource that I put together, I think, and it will really help you get immersed in both AWG and ARG, as well as learn the history of the promotion. So that's a big reason why I am here, is to educate and to try to get people in the door and to try to give them all the tools they need to jump right in and enjoy the promotion without really having to do too much of the legwork. I've already
Yeah,
done all of that for you. All right.
this is if you are worried about the deep lore of the actoring, don't worry, we got you covered.
We got you covered.
So hit the website. What is the website address?
awg.wrestlinggood.com.
That's it. That's the stuff.
awg.wrestlinggood. I know it's not wrestling promotion, but
No,
I
not
owned
yet.
the domain and I didn't know what to do with it. And there we go.
Yep,
I try to
that's
keep it
the
up to
stuff.
date whenever there's motion. I change group affiliations. If there's a new actress playing someone in ARG, I try to change it. If someone graduates or debuts, I add them, remove them, move them. So try to keep it as up to date as possible. And we're just a few days away from the December Korakuen Hall show.
Oh
And
yeah,
as we record this, I believe they are in Osaka. So we're not going to be able to cover that show, and we're not going to be able to cover the previous Shinkiba show in extreme detail because it hasn't been, neither of them have been released yet.
yeah.
But we do know the results. We can hype up, I believe, the entire Korakuen show, and we're going to use that as kind of a jumping point. So if you want to follow along as you're watching the Korakuen show or listen to this before the Korakuen show, we're going to try to set you up with the most amount of info for each of these wrestlers and each of these matches, so you can kind of pair it with what you're watching or what you're
Yeah,
expecting to watch. So the first thing we're going to do is just going to run through this card and tell you why you need to watch it and why you need to care about each of these matches.
that is correct.
Yep. Okay. So the first match for the card is a 6-person tag, and that is Yui Tenshoku, Naru, and Naho Yamada against the Update Plus team of Sakura Mizushima, Nagisa Shotsuki, and Kanamiku. That's going to be a fun opener. You got some really talented people in that match, and you have some really exciting newcomers with, especially with Yui. She
Yes,
is someone that they have already strapped the rocket to. She's been around for
yeah.
3 months,
I
4 months.
I have some notes on this receipt I was using last night rewatching the last Nets show, and it says Yui good / more. So definitely, as far as I'm concerned, a future ace.
Yes,
But
and
yeah, she's excellent.
she's picked up victories already, and that's something
Yeah,
that's pretty big in the current actress girls landscape,
I
because it's hard to
yeah,
break through to get that singles victory, and she's already gotten that. She's already pinned people who have been
yes.
around longer than she has, and she's got the great presence and great size. She's got a lot going for her, and
It's a cliche to say it, but I'll say like she is someone who seems to just get the idea of the project,
yes,
and the acting in the ring seems to come pretty natural to her.
yep,
So
definitely. And then Naru is just one of the most fun people to watch in wrestling. Period.
yeah,
She's
and then there's Naho, who I think is just like they need to hopefully next year big stuff because she is really becoming one of their
yeah,
best
she
performers.
she's great, and I feel like there's been so much talent explosion in the last year that
Oh, it's
she's
crazy.
been lost in the shuffle, and I would say like not like lost in the shuffle, but she's number 3 in Teppen, right?
Yes.
So she's kind of taking a bit of a backseat role when you look at Update, which has a similar kind of vibe to them, or with the but you have just one ace in me, and then you have like Sakura and Nagisa Kanemiku, and then Asako's doing her own thing. So it's that the units are built very interestingly, and I feel like wrestlers can lose, or performers can start losing a little bit of their not momentum, but just they'll take a backseat role for a little bit. And I think that Naho, especially because you had uh, Asahi and Misa doing big things recently, especially
Yeah.
challenging for like the belt. So Naho's time is very much coming, and I
Yeah.
think that also that's part of the way that they do this. And yeah, I could go on talking about how I think that they're gonna execute next year with a lot of these wrestlers, and I think that's something I'm going to talk about later is people to keep an eye on. So Naho's got to be one of them. And
Yes.
then as you
I
look
mean,
at the other team,
and the
which
other
is Update,
side of it too, yes,
yeah,
Nagisa, I would say all the things you just said about Naho, same thing. Like she's
absolutely. And Nagisa was injured and missed some time too, so it
yes,
was that didn't help either. But she was developing into like a fantastic, she was doing these crazy submissions, and like she's really talented, and really showed a lot of promise, and someone who got it really fast, and having that time off really did kind of put her in that backseat role and Update. And but it did allow Kanemiku to really shine, and people just step up, and it's been great. And Nagisa's back, and she's showing that she is still improving. She was debuting like new moves every match before she
yes.
got hurt and had to take some time off, and she's continued that since she's back. And she looks like great. She's gonna next year she'll be a shining star there. And
Yeah, and
then
it's like yeah, talk about growth,
Sakura.
definitely. Yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, Sakura is amazing.
Sakura is just an all around amazing wrestler performer, and I don't think anyone gives like I don't think anyone gives her credit, but I think that she deserves a lot of praise for what she's been doing. And another one who keeps adding onto her move set, keeps developing as a performer, way beyond I think what I would have expected from her when I first saw her perform. And maybe that's her friendship with me or constant teaming with her. Maybe just that stability in the ring has given, and like the chemistry with her has given her the ability to really extend herself beyond what she would have done if she was just in like one-on-one matches.
Yeah.
And then when she does the one-on-one match, like the one with Act, they're just fantastic because you have this underdog, relative newcomer who has a lot of heart fighting someone like Act, and it just plays off so well.
And I think she's also just someone who's just she's gone all in on this project. I think
Yep.
like I think early on, yeah, like a lot of these because they're all coming from different backgrounds, different industries,
Yep.
and it's like you the ones that you can see, and no, I think like everyone who's here right now is probably falls in that category. The ones you can see that just kind of dedicate themselves to it, they really go in. And Sakura over this year has 100% stepped up and dedicated herself to actress girls, and I think it's been
Yep.
fantastic.
Yeah. You could tell that she really cares about the in-ring performances,
Yes.
and it, I don't want to say like others don't. I think everyone takes it so seriously, and that's part of what makes this like really cool is seeing them all develop from the early basic move sets into something very unique and very developed. And Sakura, I think, is the best example of someone who like you could say Okoki or someone like that who's really they came in and like, oh, this person's a star.
Yeah.
But Sakura came in and going, okay, she's like Mii's tag partner. She's got that like the kawaii look, and then they put her in Update Plus, and I was like, okay, that's a great fit. And then, but she's really developed from like drop kicks and whatever to
Oh
now
yeah.
she does a
100%.
Muay lock. She's got a coat, well, not a code breaker. Was it what's she doing? She's got a lot of cool moves, and
Yeah, just insert the audio later. She's doing the
Yeah.
cool move, and then that'd be great.
Here's that edit. So Mizushima, she's got a really sick kill switch or unprettier, whatever you want to call it. So she's been adding so much to her move set, and that's become a really big staple to her late match stuff. And there's just an intensity that she brings to that move that is so cool. So keep an eye out for that one.
But yeah, I mean, she's got a lot of great submissions. She's got a lot of good transitions. I think that's kind of been her big deal. And yeah, I'm excited for her. I mean, there's just so much talent. Like even Kanemiku,
Yep,
who like I
and
feel in the last 3 months has just like really stepped up.
yeah, and it's a perfect complement to each other because they're both like learning, they're both growing at the same rate. They're both doing new moves every time they're out there. Kanamika's got the sentons that she does off the second rope. She's got the flipping senton in the
Yeah,
middle of the
oh,
ring.
that
It's
sent
just
like that's such a like when I see that happen, it's just like Jesus take the wheel because she just like
yeah,
throws herself at the other person.
she's screaming. It's just amazing. It's just a great like visual as well. That's part of what makes like Actress so good is that they're able to like nail this visual presentation of
Yeah,
moves just as well as the like there's an emotional buildup, like a scream, a yell. Kanamiku on the second rope, arms stretched, screaming as she jumps, and it's like, this is crazy, and then she nails it. It's just a very cool
I
way
love
that
how it's
they
the second
present
rope,
these
but
moves.
because
Yeah,
yeah, because she's so tiny, even from the second rope, it looks like the most insane
yeah,
dive.
yeah.
But
So
yeah,
that's
I think that'll be a fun opener. Um,
absolutely,
yeah, a good like 10-ish minute match. There's no need for it to go too far.
yeah.
And
Sometimes they do stretch them a little bit, the openers and Actress, especially if someone's debuting,
yeah,
like if they multiple debuts. But I think this one will be about 10, and it should
and
be a really fun ride. And
yeah,
you got a great team with the update crew, a lot of chemistry there, and then you have an exciting team of youngsters and just really exciting wrestlers on the other end. So like,
yeah.
it's going to be a great opener.
They can go either way too. That's what I like about this opener. Is like
Oh,
both
yeah,
sides you could see winning and having. I'd have no issue with it. So
yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, it absolutely just a great pairing of teams. And then there are some people who are not going to be on the show, and I want to just
yes,
shout them out real quick because of various things. So Yufa, she is currently out with a neck injury, I believe.
yeah.
So
Hopefully she'll be back.
hopefully she'll be back. Mana Yamashita, she is just not going to be there. I don't know any of the details. Haruka Ishikawa is also not in the show. She hasn't been there since November, but she's doing like a few different shows and she does like lighting, so she
Yeah,
may be busy.
she's been around.
It,
She's been around.
yeah, she
And she does have acting, I believe,
yeah
uh, performances in between. So she's got other things going on as well.
yeah. We'll get into like actually details of what people are
Yes,
up to later on, and then Irie, she hurt her ankle. I know there was a bad translation that say she broke her leg.
yes, that is
That
not.
didn't happen. No,
Google
she's
Translate is not is your friend, but it's also not your friend. So
yeah.
always be
So it's
careful, guys.
yeah. I think it was just a injured ankle. So she's hoping to be back soon. I believe that she's scheduled for the Beasts Rebellion produced show, which is later
Yes.
on
So
in
don't worry.
January. But yeah, so
The
she
current
doesn't have a
leader,
broken leg.
yeah, the current leader of Beast Rebellion will be around, will be present while the former leader moves on to, as the next note says.
Yep. So Act is not going to be in a match, but she will be helping out at the venue at Korakuen.
That's right.
Uh, she will be heading overseas in March and April. We'll get deeper into that too, but it's exciting for her. And just want to shout out those roster members who are not going to be at the show, and you won't see them, but they are active roster members, and they people to keep an eye on. They may be at the venue if you're going to be there.
Yeah, and they
So
may be in
just
the the classic introduction video that Actress does. If you're subscribed to Nets, watch the videos, and you sometimes get little clips of the
yep,
staff beforehand, and you'll catch them walking around.
yep. Those are always a lot of fun.
Yes.
Just kind of Miku waving. There was like 10 or string of like 10 shows where they just open up with that. It was very good. Okay, so those are people not on the show, and then let's dive deeper into the match where they try to throw as many people as they can into it. There's a battle royale as a second match.
That's stuff.
Yep. Do you know if there's any special rules to that one? I didn't catch
I did
anything.
not catch anything. No.
Me neither. I know. Like as we dive deeper into the produce shows later, that's going to be something. But yeah, so I don't know if this is a straightforward battle royale, but it is a match with a handful of wrestlers that are all like funny, silly, new. It's gonna be a real fun ride. And
Yes.
you got a newcomer in Nanami Toki, who she's the one who was the purple and yellow kind of now Kakuda kind of
I,
look to her.
I really like her gloves.
Yep,
Uh,
her gloves. You know what? You know why she wears those gloves?
oh no. What do you?
So she wears these two
Yes.
fingerless gloves, and it's because she's also a bassist.
Ah,
So
I
it's so
like
she could
that.
act, it's something from her stage performance. So she will, yeah, to finger pick the
She
bass.
she has to come out at least once, playing a bass solo for herself. That's
Absolutely. I think she said like she wanted to work a bass performance into her intro,
oh,
but I think they didn't have time for the first Korakuen she was in. So it's, I hope that would be a really fun thing to do.
100%. Round of applause for bassists out there because
Yep,
sometimes I feel they don't get enough love.
I know.
So
Thank
Nanami
you.
Togi's got your back.
I played bass for like 5 years
That's the
and
stuff.
it
There we
was
go.
awesome.
You and Nanami Toki just basically the same.
Bass soloing at each other. God, that would be a terrible experience. It's two basses soloing at each other. Who knows?
No, there's an SNL sketch I believe that is that, and it was pretty good. So if
Okay,
my
good,
memory serves.
good.
Moving on, Chi Alba. Yeah.
Yep, she's the one with the big ice cream plushie.
Yeah.
Um,
Also, I believe the voice of a unicorn, or was at some point.
yeah, maybe. But yes, she
Yeah.
voiced Uni for Star Magical Project and ARG, and
Yes.
yeah, she's relatively newcomer. She's not in as many shows as some of the other rookies, but she's slowly progressed and
Yeah. Hoping to see more of her in 2024. I
yeah,
think there's some
and
good potential
she's
there.
been showing a lot more personality lately, especially with like some of the teams she's been in. So definitely someone to keep an eye on as we go into the new year. And then we've got the I got her on here twice apparently, but the Great Asako.
Oh, yes.
She's got to be on the list twice because she's got the presence of two people. She's got multiple personalities. Asako Miya. She is an absolute joy, and I think a lot of people have started watching Actress because of her. Even and I can absolutely see why. She is so much fun. She's not the most technically proficient in ring performer, but
Yeah.
you absolutely do not need it when she's doing the moves like the sane elbow and the and she's got the moonsault or whatever she
Yeah.
calls it.
Like it's the 3-step moonsault as I call it. But yes.
Yeah, she is so much fun to watch. She's very creative. She's silly. She when she was first starting, like she was trying to, I guess, be this pure baby face, and she was fighting. I think her first match was with Chica, Go Chica,
Yes.
and Go Chica's tall, and she was bullying her, and she was trying to show this fire, but there was like a little bit of chaos in everything she was doing. I'm like, if she can just channel that into
Th-
something.
there
And
is that.
she has beyond anything I ever expected, and it's
Yes.
been absolutely brilliant.
I think one of the most subtle and key examples with it. It's on the Actress Girls YouTube, guys. Go watch their stage performance from some Idol festival, and she just when Mari introduces her, she just has that insane look in her eye, and I'm just like, oh, she's gonna be great. She just
She's
looks
got a
crazy.
perfect energy for pro
Yeah,
wrestling or pro wrestling
yeah.
like
Like
entertainment,
entertainment.
and
Yes,
yeah she's been an absolute just superstar to international fans who, especially ones who don't necessarily watch Actress Girls closely,
yes,
and that's really cool. She's become like a kind of a bridge to people. Oh, this girl looks silly. She's doing interesting, silly stuff. She got shouted out by Kyrie for
yeah.
her dressing up as her. So there's just a lot of cool interactions there, and people really like her.
I
So
think it's definitely someone who I think brings her personality from the outside again from her other experiences in entertainment
yep,
to this profession. So
yep.
it's always cool to see.
And you throw her into the middle of a chaotic battle royale,
Yeah,
you're gonna. It's a perfect combination,
it's an excellent
especially when
combination.
you add in Renson
Oh
next,
God, yes.
who is another unpredictable performer.
Who can forget their legendary, as far as I'm concerned, Nara Plaza feud?
Yep. uh, that just an incredible performer there with Renson, and always like a chameleon almost in the ring. Always able
Yeah,
to do something different. I don't know what's going on with Eyes right now, but
I
it's
believe I believe Eyes is on pause.
yeah,
We may see them in the new year, but
yep,
I believe we're going to get Neon Lotus Rensan
yes. It's
in
she
Korakuen.
has been announced as Renson in the sub, and it's the pictures of the Neo Lotus in the renders. So very, I believe so. We're not going to get the camo, and she's just so much fun to watch. She'll really there'll be some silly stuff with her in there too. And you got Marino Sehara as well, another chaotic member of the team, the literal squirrel girl.
Yeah, non-copyright squirrel girl. She is a squirrel who also happens to be a girl
These
and possibly heroic.
the American comic book fan who
Yeah,
likes to dress up. I'm trying to remember the exact name. It's a very long name, but
yeah.
yeah. So she's just a lot of fun and one of the best follows if on Twitter if you are a fan who speaks English.
Also, if you are an English-speaking fan who would like to go to this show, I highly recommend contacting her. Uh, you can just type in Marino Saihara into your net browser of choice. I mean, I guess it's Twitter, and then I believe you can contact her, and she'd be happy to set you up with a ticket in English. She will be able
Yeah,
to, if you keep it nice and simple, she'll be happy to set you up with a ticket.
indeed. And then another, just another enabler of chaos, Kira on.
Oh, maybe to be honest, maybe the greatest harbinger of chaos in actress girls at the
Someone,
moment.
absolutely, someone who just enables people who are just completely insane. It is
Yes,
amazing to watch her just she's up for anything, and then she just kicks people in the head, and you think that she's killed them. So
yeah. I think we
she's
forget
fantastic.
she's got a little bit of shoot training in there, so
Yep, she's
she's
got,
a real threat.
and she's been part of pro wrestling. She's been pro wrestling for a while. I mean, she's worked with Saki in the past.
Yep.
She's worked with Mina Shirakawa in the past, so she's got history in pro wrestling, and she's kind of found a new home in actress, and she's been a cool addition. Definitely, like I wouldn't say that she's been a title contender or anything like that, but she has absolutely been a really fun catalyst in the mid card to try
Yes.
to, yeah, and a mountain for the smaller and younger wrestlers to try to get over, and also someone the smaller and chaotic wrestlers can also attach to make even more chaos. So
Yes.
really, really fun part. And then me,
Of course. The dark god of this whole thing.
yes,
Me, who has just the best gear, I think, going maybe right
uh,
now.
yep. She has never done anything wrong ever in her life, and
Never.
never, not once. And we're going to make sure that everyone knows that.
Yeah.
And it's terrible when wrestlers use their head to try to defeat Kuma-chan repeatedly.
It's
It's
they should not do that to
They
Kuma-chan.
should not
Like
do that. No,
he's putting Kuma-chan out there for all of us to enjoy, and then people just slam
they
their
just
head into him, and that's terrifying.
repeatedly.
Terrifying.
It's terrible. These people, no, yeah. So me is so much is leader of Update Plus, just a really cool, like Kawaii, but also
She's the number one idol.
yeah, number one idol, and like she's super talented in the ring. Like the last year and a half, especially, I feel like she went from I'm not sure if I want to keep doing this to I want to grow more as a wrestler.
Yeah.
Like I remember when
an act
you know,
wrestler, but yes.
yeah, when the company announced its realignment, she said that she'd wrestled her last match and she was talking about like her health and whether or not she wanted to continue. And now she's doing some stuff that she never did before. She's a more well-rounded and more capable wrestler than she was 2 years ago when she said she was going to slow down and she'd wrestled her last match. So, really glad that she's able to continue and she's able to help elevate people like Sakura, like Nagisa, like Kanamiku, like Asako.
Yes,
And
and I,
she's
I
just,
think you can see her who she's helped. You can definitely kind of tell that she's
yeah,
been getting in there, getting helping people train. So it's been really really great.
yeah. She's been a great mentor to the young ones, to the new performers.
Yes.
Hey, so it's Rich in post. Chris and I forgot to bring up Nene Arahata in this match, and just wanted to shout her out again. She's really cool. She's gonna add a lot to this match too. She's got power. She's gonna, yeah, she's in, gonna be in maybe an enforcer role, maybe not. Maybe she'll be silly, but she ever since joining Beast, she's been really really fun to watch, and her journey into Beasts was really cool. So if you ever want to go back and watch that, go back to like step 9 and see how that whole thing started with Act and Ayano and just really really fun storyline stuff. And she was a big part of that early shift from the fun loving actress crew into now the faction war that we see on every show. And talking about like great mentors, in the next match is it's a tag match, and we have Maru and Kyoka Iwai, who are advertised as Jidoshu.
Let's everyone snakes out Shaw. Let's
Sha.
hear it. I
Sha.
want to hear it. Shaw.
Okay.
Just
Yeah,
before I get too sidetracked, I just want to know, like the Jadosha produced show, maybe one of my favorite shows of the year.
I I have been off the record saying it, but I'll go on the record saying it that I enjoyed it more than the Korakuen that happened before it.
Yeah, it was excellent.
Yeah,
It reminded me of
it was
some of
it was
the
fun.
golden era,
Yeah,
early or yeah, early 2010s Joshi Pro, where I was like,
yeah,
oh, this is taking me back.
yeah. It was a absolute fun ride, and highly suggest checking it out if you've skipped over it because it's a Ice Ribbon Dojo show. It's a small show, and
War Omni
it's not a
Battle Arena
Korakuen, it's not a step show, but I really suggest going and watching it because it is a blast.
is excellent. You don't need too much. You don't have to know too much to know that it's a good time. I
Yeah,
recommend. It's a not 999 yen a month. I believe that's what 1,000 yen.
yes,
Is it 1,000 yen a month? What's
I think it's 1,000 yen a month.
so it's 1,000 yen a month, guys. That's not even $10. It's I don't even know if it's $5 given the exchange rate right now.
I think it was
Treat
like six
yourself.
something the last
Yeah,
time I checked
yeah.
my email. So yeah, it's it's so worth it, so
Yeah,
worth it.
skip that can of Monster, and
Yeah,
then just sub for a delicious month of Actress Girls that won't
yeah,
give you a sugar crash. It may give you
yeah,
a sugar crash. I can't guarantee that actually. But
yeah.
yeah, let's go going through the match. So yeah, let's see. I mean, Mario, like you said, a veteran,
Yep.
just someone bringing
Returned
loads of experience in.
returned to the ring after 16 years away, but always been connected with wrestling from her theater stuff,
Yes,
and which has brought stars like Kyoko Iwai over from the theater world into the ring. And watching Kyoko over the year kind of stumble a bit, figure things out, start screaming a lot has been fun. I'm not sure what's
fantastic.
going. I'm still not sure what's going on with Eyes.
Yeah,
I think that it it a lot of people are confused about it. I think that she wanted to be more of a heroic person in the ring. I don't know. It's the story is yet to be completed, and it's something we still got to be
I
along the
think
ride for.
we'll come back to Eyes. I believe that Eyes will return. I'm not too
Yes,
worried about that.
I think so too.
But
I think that
yeah, Kyoka, I think, is getting her footing back. Yeah, I think she kind of got lost. Another wrestler that kind of got lost in the shuffle. And
Yeah.
but excellent match against Mari
Oh yeah.
at Shinkiba recently, and I thought maybe her best single showing yet.
Yeah.
Definitely a match to watch. Is to go back and watch the Shinkiba.
Yeah.
Uh, what was the date on that? I gotta get dates down. Act 26, I believe,
Okay.
is the numbering of that one.
Yeah. And then they're facing the Teppen team of Asahi and Mitsu Matsui.
Yes.
So that's going to be a cool one. Teppen's just a blast, and those are the top two in Teppen. They are among the most talented in Actress.
Yeah, I
In the
mean,
ring, they're arguable aces. You have a group of wrestlers who could really be considered an ace. I mean, you got Miko at the top, and then you've got such a scramble right underneath her that so many different wrestlers can fill. And who's going to be that one to step up to finally defeat her? And you can make a case for both of them. But Miku's knocked them down a bit, but it's still been fun to watch them gel as a team.
yeah,
These two top tier members of Actors. I don't think what other team has is that stacked at the top, because even the Royal, it's the established star in Sumikawa, and then you've got Koki, who
Kogi.
is relatively, a relative newcomer still. Matsui and Asai have been doing this for years,
Yeah.
and they're in
Again,
their prime. They're getting better. They're still really young. They're
I
a
don't even know
perfect
if they're.
team.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are they even in their prime? Because
But
they're in
no,
their
they're
early
yeah,
20s,
they're like 20 and 22,
21.
maybe like
Yeah,
20,
yeah,
yeah.
something.
So they're very young.
Yeah,
They
but and
are
again, also young, but also probably with some of the most experienced
yeah.
performers on this roster. So
So it's going to be stacked against Jidoshu because you have those, but you do have the
okay.
experience of Maru and you have the intensity of Kyoka if she can get that back, if she
And
can
then also
channel
you
that.
have all the rest of Jadoshu
Yeah,
probably getting
it's
involved.
not going to be 2-on-2 for
No,
sure. So that's going to be an interesting
I expect
the way to see how they
someone
overcome it. Will we see Teppen try to balance it out? Will
someone's getting
Naho
hung.
and
I think.
Calico be out there? Oh yeah, someone's gonna hung out there.
Yeah.
So that should be a fun match because you've got just talented wrestlers, talented storytellers, and you have a chaotic, explosive factor sitting just outside the ring.
Yes.
And
I think.
then the rest of Jidosha is going to be in the next match. Well, except for Kira, she's in one of the early matches. But
Who
Alan
knows what
and
Karahan's alliances are? She's another one. She's a shifter.
yeah,
She could be a new inside.
she's officially in Jidoshu, but she's also a Sako army.
Yeah,
And
that's
then
right.
she was just wore update gear for her recent team with Kanamiku. So
That's
you
right.
never know what she's gonna do. Never know.
Unpredictable, like her comics. Just unpredictable.
Yeah, those comics are what does the English Twitter call them? Delirious or something.
Yeah,
They
yeah, like
are very
delusional.
much
Yeah.
delusional. Yeah, they are very much so. So that's yeah. Check them out if you haven't seen them. They're wild. And then we've got a four versus four tag. We've got
Yeah.
a best body team, which is Riko Fukunaga, Chika
Yep.
Goto, Natsuki, and Arina Yamanaka.
Yeah.
So
Chica
she's a
Goto,
guest.
the million
Yep.
view queen of actress girls.
Yeah, she is the needle mover, the
Yeah.
the brand at this point. But
Although,
it's
reminder, Natsuki is actually the winner of that whole contest.
yes, Natsuki actually won, and
Multiple times, in multiple rounds, that
yes,
she won that. Yeah.
yes. So that's a fun team.
That's
Arina's been
that's
really
a
fun in her
Rico definitely
appearances.
stepping up. Yeah.
Rico is my pick for something I'm going to say later on in the show
All right, cool.
of
But
people to watch next year. But we'll
but
get deeper into that discussion. I just a these are the top three finishers of the best body award, and then also a best body member.
And
Uh,
former Best Body Japan Women's Champion,
yeah,
Arina Yamanaka.
yeah. So it that's just a cool team. Natsuki's always fun.
Yeah.
Gochika is one of my favorite people in actress.
And she's again gotten so good for someone who I believe, again, this is just bad Google Translate, but having talked to other people about it that know Japanese better than me, was someone who was also like when she debuted her first match, she's like, this could be the one time I do this.
Yeah,
Now she's out here killing it with GCS, guys. I want to
yeah.
hear chanting GCS. I want people just to be
G
screaming
C
that in
S
2024.
G C S. She
GC.
is just been an absolute joy to watch, and like to. I think that there was a story that she was telling, maybe unintentionally, of her gaining confidence in the ring, because
Yes.
you could watch it over the debut, and even like watching like Madu pick at her, and just that the lack of, not the lack of confidence, but just the, like, okay, I'm outclassed in every single way, and now she's out there and she's fighting with her heart, and she's spinning people, she's throwing people, she's doing big things, and it's been really fun to watch her get her footing, get established, and finally get that confidence that she didn't have early on.
Yeah. Uh,
And for
Definitely someone who's definitely gained a lot of confidence, definitely like stepped up to the plate.
yeah,
Uh, yeah, I am excited for 2024. I think yeah, she's gonna bring people in, and I think All Japan. If they're gonna send someone to All Japan to do shows, she's an excellent choice. I would say send
absolutely,
Natsumi also, but yeah,
yep.
that's a great team. I think that'll be a fun match, and then the other side we got some other favorites. I mean, there's so many favorites, but yeah,
Chiaki, who
Chiaki, yeah,
another breakout star this year, just won
Chiaki's
the,
been,
yeah,
yes, she's just underrated on every level. Even though I overrate her, but or I can't overrate her because she's amazing.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, Chiaki, great year. I have a note here. Hang on, what's my note say here? Oh yeah, she is the good Baron Corbin. She is the actual lone wolf of that work.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
She does some power moves. She is so well rounded. Again, I
Yes.
feel like I've said about a lot of these performers, but you can't help but like admire how well rounded a lot of them have become. Especially like a lot of times they start out just throwing forearms and drop kicks, and watching them become something else is so fun. And she's, you know, really become that well rounded threat who could win any match that she's in, and she carried that to what the tournament win, the newcomer tournament.
Yes. Yeah.
So she is just an absolute just monster to watch in the ring. And Alan is in the match as well. So Alan is she is a really just cool person in general. And I think that she hasn't had the opportunities that a lot of the other newer performers have when it comes to in ring stuff.
Still kind of locking in a move set. I think that's kind of her deal right now.
Yeah, and I think that she just has had other obligations, other things that have kept her out of the ring.
Yes.
So she's a member of Judoshu, and that's going to help her just slot in whenever she can to really just be part of that team. I think that she's got a lot of potential.
Yeah.
She's got a lot of just interesting abilities. She's very uniquely charismatic. I think that she's got a
Oh
lot
look,
of,
she's got an umbrella with a snake on it. Like, what
yeah,
more can you ask for?
exactly. And like when they do the love riddle dance, and she'll jump in the middle of it and do a little sha and all that, and she's got that kind of charismatic vibes to her. She's someone that just, if they just put her in more matches and she could just get more reps, I think
Yes.
we'd be talking about her like we just talked about Chiaki.
And I think if we'll get back to it later in this thing, but her performance in the recent Actoring Comic Con was probably one of her best performances. I can
Yeah.
remember. So again, growing, another growing talent. That I think has the character down. Just got to get that move set locked in.
Yep. Then we got Cat Mask Calico.
Yeah, more animals. Yeah, we
Yep.
have a wolf, we have a snake, and now we have a cat.
Yep. The feline luchadora. She has
Yes.
been amazing to watch. A very relative newcomer who has really become this just very, I don't know, popular person over with the overseas fans,
Yeah.
and just maybe it's just because of the cats and the mask, and just
Yeah.
those things are just popular with us. But
Yeah. When you're a literal cat, that's an easy way to
yeah,
get people to like you.
and she's got the entrance and stuff that's very cat like. She goes all in with the character, and then she does some really cool stuff in the ring. Uh, One of the more high, I guess, high flying and faster paced wrestlers and actress.
Yes. Yeah.
Just really fun to watch, and absolutely should add a lot of, should be a very interesting person to watch in this match, considering who they're up against and who's on the team.
Yes.
And then also on
Uh,
this team is Bulldozer Todoroki, who's a member
Bull
of Jidoshu with Alan.
Yes. Yes.
So that's
Again,
going to be interesting to see how, two groups of two. You have the heel in Chiaki, who's Beast Rebellion. You've got heels in that, and then you got Catmask, who's Teppen. So it's a very interesting dynamic between all of them. And I think Bulldoze is another one who I'll shout out, kind of like Kira on, who
yes.
I feel like maybe not the greatest in ring performer, and like Asako too, finding their spot as a performer and finding their strengths and just kind of latching on to that and building those strengths.
Yeah.
And over the last few months, she's been uh, what she's supposed to be in the ring.
She's getting more confident.
Yep.
And I think again another one. She reminds me of Chika Goto in that she was, I think, a little hesitant. I think how
Yeah.
far she was going to go with the wrestling,
Yeah.
the in-ring action,
And
and
you could tell like that she prioritizes certain things in the ring over like safety and stuff, and that's great. But when you see her trying to throw a chair, or part of her gimmicks using this, kendo stick, and
at the kendo
not
stick.
really
Yeah,
connected, not doing great. I think that she's got a little bit more confident in herself that she can perform that stuff safely,
yeah. I mean,
and
that
with
that is
more reps
something
and
I think.
stuff.
Like the scarier thing I think for a lot of people is hitting other people with those things.
Yeah, exactly. I think that that's the whole, like, I don't want to hurt them. I don't want to hurt them. And like what I know about Todoroki from her acting career, comedic stuff, stage stuff, it's not a wrestling background. It's not a combat sports background. It's not even she's not an athlete. A lot of these women have some sort of athletic backgrounds,
Yes.
even if they're from the stage originally. Like you have, I think Sakura did softball, so you have some athletic backgrounds. I don't think she really did, but she's really kind of grown into, like, I mean, obviously she's not running around the ring and doing high speed stuff, but she's able to do like the big, like the what did she do, the splash off the top, the second rope,
Yep.
or the bottom rope actually, which is still like a devastating move. And then she's out there having comedic stuff like the was it the Natsuki and then the Natsumi matches, which were a lot of fun. So she's really kind of found her spot too, and I think that's part of what makes actress great, is that they give them the ability to find that. And it's the same thing we said with Chika, the same thing with Asako, with Kira, and now with Bulldozer, is they are able to really find themselves as performers by experimenting in the ring
Yeah. And
in
what
front
I
of
like.
people.
Yeah, and I think the key thing here is that I take away that is like, I'm gonna bring up the Fed, but
Oh no.
like, yeah, I like if you look at, let's say, NXT or whatever, they are trying to weld a certain style onto their wrestlers, which is fair. Whatever, you have a product, you want a certain consistency. But I feel like Actors Girls goes the other way at it. They look for what the wrestler actually has already, and then how do we meld that with
Yep.
in
It's
ring
something I
action?
see in like TJPW as well, where you
Yes.
you you give them all the tools to then build off of.
Yeah. Figure it
You
out.
give them the foundation, and then they will build the rest of it, and
Yeah.
it's fun to watch. And I feel like a lot of people who like TJPW will love Actress Girls because of just that similarity. It's kind of a cross between, like, the TJPW, watching the wrestlers develop, and then also like peak Stardom era where you had the factions and you had a lot of just great, interesting matches. It really is fun. Like everyone in this match kind of exemplifies that in some way.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is a great match to have probably between this because I feel like match three probably going to be a pretty hot match, and then match four could be a fun one because then match five is probably going to be insane.
This can go either way, and
Yeah,
it's going to set the tone for the next year in Actress Girls. This is maybe the most important match on the card, and it's not the title match. It's not the main event, but it's Natsumi Sumikawa against Koki, the
yep.
two members of the Royal, the
Are
two
we going to
runners
see
up
an
in
end to
the
the
last.
dynasty? Yeah.
Yeah, so Mari beat both of them,
Yes.
and these two now got to fight it out for third place, pretty much, behind Miku Mari and then Natsumi and Koki, and they're both in the same faction. We're going to see who's going to step up and lead the Royal going into 2024. Sumikawa is just one of the most talented people there, and she's been doing this since 2011, 2012. She is one of the most experienced people, even though she had the time off. She has that just something that a lot of that you only get when you start doing this at a young age. And she's been able to like help coach the young wrestlers, help them figure out. But this match is where Koki's got to step up and beat her.
Yes. It's
She's
a big
got to
match for
do it.
Koki for
It's
sure.
a big match for Koki because she's lost a lot of big matches. And like I joke around, like, oh, Koki can't win anything. But the thing is, she is a young, super talented wrestler that everyone says is going to be the ace one day. And it's obvious to anyone who's watching that she has everything you need to be an ace.
Yeah,
And they just keep throwing her in the deep end, hoping that she will swim. Like, and that's part of the story. It's like she keeps getting thrown in the deep end and she just comes up short every time. Eventually, she's going to get that breakthrough win and really prove that she is on the level of Miku, Natsumi, Mari, Asahi. She's going to prove it.
Yeah. But at the same time, I could see Natsumi is hungry. Like she came to
Yep.
Actress Girls to prove something, and she's been proving it.
Yep.
And big win Korakuen definitely sets her up next year for a good shot at the title. I could totally see her getting her run at whoever wins the main event.
Yep. And she's got to be frustrated with the loss in the three way. She's got to prove that she does belong up there.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
it's
I think
gonna.
outside of Maru, she probably has the most in-ring experience currently on the roster.
Yeah.
With Act currently not
Yep.
wrestling in acting girls. So yeah, she's got stuff to prove. I think they both have stuff to prove. This could
Yep.
be, yeah, this could easily be match of the night.
Yep. And it's such an important match for the Royal going forward and for really Actress and what they're going to do in 2024 because it sets them up for a lot of different things depending on who wins. And it's exciting. And I get Natsumi is such an explosive performer and she will get everything she can out of Koki when it comes to, because Natsumi is very open with the worked nature of Actress Girls. And
Yes.
she's been on Instagram talking about, oh, I like doing this because it adds a layer of realism to my matches
Oh,
and it makes it
yeah,
feel more real.
that wonderful clip that she posted where she like grabs Misa's
Yeah.
hand when she's over the ropes. I love that
Yeah. Oh,
little addition.
fantastic. Stuff like that. And she knows the little things and
Yes,
she's going to walk Koki through this match and it's going to be very, very good because Koki, like, she has every single tool you need to become an ace. And
she
Natsumi can get all of that out of her. And it's going to be a really fun one to watch.
yeah, she's much like uh the Viper himself. I can't remember his name now for some reason. But whatever. She's like what you would imagine
Randy Orton.
You build a wrestler, and that's her. That's I've built a rest. I've opened up the wrestler creator, and I've set everything to 10, and now I have Koki.
Yeah, exactly. She and it's definitely like the like in NBA 2K, you start out as like a 70, but your potential is an A plus. She's already gotten up to that 80, 89, almost 90%. She is. I mean, she was in the main event of the March Korakuen for the
That's
belt.
right. That's
So
right.
she
She's had
she
it. She's
knows
had
how.
that shot.
She is going to eventually get that win that catapults her into that ace position, or you know, a arguable ace, because right now she's not quite there. She doesn't have the win. She doesn't have the belt. And we know who's got the belt. It's Miku.
Miku, big dog.
That's the main event. Miku's going to defend. Miku, I don't know, against Mari.
Oh
This
yes,
is gonna.
praise. The hands up. I want to see hands
We're
up.
praising. We're
I can't
praising
see
Mari.
over the internet, but my hands are up.
My
Lord
hands
knows.
are up. Always up. Always praising Mari. And I even put in. This is where we will praise her because
Yeah,
she is the the heart of Actress Girls right now.
yeah. I feel the modern what we're seeing now. This rendition of Actors Girls heavily is affected by Mari, and her decision to stay has
Yep.
definitely helped keep them going in this new generation of Actress Girls.
Yep. She does a lot of the training. She
Yep.
works with everyone so personally from what I've seen. It's and you could see a lot of her in a lot of the newer wrestlers, especially like a Natsuki or um, even a Koki. Like you see a lot of just that Mari actress stuff in them, and she's taken a bit of a backseat role in ring and on on the shows. She's taken a role. She's been working with Nadu
Yeah.
a lot. She's been doing tag stuff. She's been doing some like the reluctant tag teams with Miku. It's it's been building towards this moment. Like, when is she going to step up? Because she is everything to this company. Like she's everything behind the scenes, and she's just not. She's so like humble about it. She's just gonna never step up. Like I thought like she's never gonna really break out of that upper mid card because I don't think she wants to.
Yeah,
But this is the moment.
she took the Cody Rhodes oath of never challenging for the championship in
Yeah.
AEW.
But this is the
But
moment where she's gonna maybe take her spot at
and
the
this is
top of the promotion.
as you've noted on this, and I believe you noted on Twitter, it is a points match.
It is a
And
points
I will
match.
say this as someone who goes live, and if it's we talk about merch, she is up there with Miku Ano as far as
Yep.
merch and ticket sales. So
Yep.
uh,
And
depending how that die roll goes, we may have a new champ.
yep. And I don't know if they'll ever post the die roll. So we'll
I hope
see.
they do because
We'll
I
see.
missed those. Those
Me
were
too.
amazing.
But yeah, the points matches, for those who aren't familiar, it's just a way of, I guess, them peeling the curtain back a bit on the business and just kind of,
Yeah, this is maybe
yeah,
where there's some contention about what act wrestling is.
yeah.
So yeah,
This is
just like
kind of it. This is where the is it wrestling, is it not
yeah,
debate happens. But they're pretty much doing what other companies do, but it's out in the open.
yeah,
Where okay, the merch sales factor in, the in ring performance factors in, and they go into the match with it predetermined.
yeah.
But
And
us as viewers don't know
don't
who's going to win.
yes,
It's just
but
like any other wrestling match. It's just that after the match, we learn why the winner won
yeah,
instead of
and I'll
just speculating on Twitter saying, "Oh, the person was drawing the numbers of the merch and the no." It is. We'll get actual numbers.
yeah. And I'll say this too. Also, don't forget that there's an X. There's an X fact. There's literally an X factor
Yep.
in the calculation of this decision. So I call it the Sakaguchi factor, which makes
Yep.
sense. Again, at the end of the day, it is a promotion run by a person.
Yep.
Decisions have to be made. So
Exactly. So and yeah, it's just I don't know, I think that people look at it and they go, I don't know if I like the point matches. It really, from watching it in the, whether you're watching it
yeah,
on Nets or in Korakuen Hall, it's just any other wrestling match, and
yeah,
it maybe even allows them the freedom to get even more creative with the match in the ring. And when you have a team like, or a combination like Mari and Miku, they're gonna go all out. And it,
yeah,
and we talk about the previous match, how that's gonna be, even though it's not a points match, I don't believe it is. They still promote the promotion as being predetermined. So you'll see not Natsumi work with Koki to put a match together, and
yeah,
it's gonna be that's almost like what makes this even more special, is that you're openly helping the other person, but you're not. It's kind of weird to describe, but when you watch it, you're not gonna have that in your mind. You're gonna go, well, this is a great match, great action, the kicks, whether it's Mari or Natsumi or Miku, like the kicks are amazing. The striking on those three especially, just some of the best in pro wrestling. Period.
yeah. And I think with Mari and Miku, the great thing is they can probably do all of it. I mean,
Yeah.
they'll probably be some pretty savage kicks, and then also I think a lot of good groundwork.
Oh
Mari,
yeah.
excellent grappler. Miku, again, not to be underestimated either. The big dog can
She's the
throw down
champ.
on the graps. Yeah.
And maybe a lot of people, like people who've been paying attention to Act Rest Girls, have her up on Rest of the Year, like, conversation.
Yeah, I would argue definitely a hell of a year for her, and if she continues, again, I will. I am rooting for Mari. I have to. I can't do otherwise in my soul,
Yeah.
but I will not
Praise
deny.
Mari.
Yeah, praise Mari. I will not deny the big dog can pull this
Same.
out and maybe continue her reign into 2024.
I got it. For me, I'm hoping Mari wins. Personal reasons. She's one of my faves,
Of course.
and just, but Miku carrying the belt into the new year, undeniable ace, would be a really cool story as well. So I think no matter who wins, it's going to be good. It's going to be a great match. It's going to be There's going to be an intensity there. They're frenemies,
Yes.
and they are the company. The two of them.
They're the old guard.
Yep.
They're a carryover from the last generation. I think again they definitely helped usher in this generation. So
Yeah. It's
yeah, I'm excited. This is a big match. I wish I could go live. I'll be happy to watch it on nets. But if you are in Japan, 100% throw. Oh, by the way, remember guys, this is a point match. If you're in Japan,
buy
100%.
merch.
Yeah, buy merch. If you're gonna get tickets, don't forget you can go to the Actress Girls website, use their little web form, and then if you are using the website, the great thing is right at the bottom, number 7. You go to the website here, and there's a tickets. Number 7, you just put in the name of the. Sorry, number 6. I apologize. Number 6 is the performer you want to handle your ticket. What that means is they get the point, basically, and they get a little kickback, obviously, but they get the
Yeah.
point that counts towards their merch sales. So if you want to affect the outcome of this match, and you're in Japan, you're gonna go to this show, hit up the Actress Girls website, send in your info, request a ticket, and then put in Mari or Miku, and that'll get them. That could swing it. You could be the
Yep.
decider.
I know we said it's a good idea to register through Sahara because she speaks English
Yeah.
well enough to help you. But if
Yep.
you really, really want to be part of that deciding
Yep.
factor, that option's out there for you. And kind of segues perfectly into, like, what do you expect as a fan attending Actress for the first time?
Oh yeah.
So I think that a lot of people are getting back to Japan. I think, is this the first New Year's? No, but is this the first, like, big New Year's
Yeah, I think
run?
last year like they
Last year was
just lifted the
open.
restrictions
Yeah,
like near the end of the year, and it was kind of like it was up, but it was definitely not.
yeah. A lot of people are coming in for the
Yeah.
first time. A lot of new Actress fans, and I want to get people set up with the right info so that they
Yeah.
can navigate an Actress show
Yeah.
without a problem. And one thing I knew when I was over there in March is that it is unique. Um, TJPW, it's hard. You got to buy tickets advance. It's very hard to meet your faves unless you go to like a specific fan meeting event for the big shows.
Yes.
For Stardom, you just can't meet people anymore.
Yeah. The meet and
For
greets are very limited. Again, understandable. At a certain
Yeah,
point, both those promotions have reached those point where
exactly.
just the free for all merch table deal is probably too chaotic.
Yeah,
So this is the compromise.
and it is a little chaotic at Actress, so that's all
And
another
still,
reason why I
yes,
want to be like, make sure you're in the right spot, make sure you're doing the right thing, and if you want to meet people, if you want to get checkies, you want to get portraits, we're gonna try to get you set up
yeah.
for
Let's let's
success.
let's because again, especially if you're expecting to get a lot of people, this is you gotta you have to prepare yourself because
Yeah, that's
I'll
one
I'll say
thing
this.
that
Yeah, I'll say this right now, guys. If you're planning to get everyone, that's a big ask.
it's not
Yeah,
gonna happen.
yeah,
I don't want to say it, but I want to
yeah,
say it for sure. But I made sure to limit the checkies I got
yes.
at
And
Korakuen, and
you went to the line. You went to the line.
I have about 5 unsigned checkies
Yeah,
because just of how the process works, how crowded it was, and just they kick you out at a
yeah,
time.
yeah.
It's the
Korakuen has a schedule, and
Shinkiba
it's
shows you'll be able to hang around a little bit longer. You'll be able to get things done, but Korakuen it is like clockwork,
yeah,
and there's show after show, and you're just gonna have to strategize. So we're gonna help you strategize. So I already told you how to get a ticket.
yeah.
Reach out
Multiple
to
ways. Yeah,
reach out to Marino or
yeah,
go on to actressgirls.com, go to the ticketing page, or the page, I think the page for the event, and then you can go to the ticketing page for the event, and then make sure you request for the wrestler in that field
yeah.
that asks for it.
Yeah, column 6, number 6, that is the wrestler. It says like Nashioke, meaning you don't have to, but I recommend you put in someone's name. It's helpful, and again, it affects the point match stuff. So
Yep.
yeah, but
Yep.
yeah,
So
if you absolutely just do not want to deal with any of that, yeah, just DM Saihara.
yeah,
That's your
that's
safe
easy,
bet.
and she could use the help. She brings it up, but I don't think she's like super popular or doesn't get a lot of
Maybe she doesn't get
requests.
a request for checks. I'll say this though, at the merch table, she does fine. She does.
Yeah,
She's not Mario level
she
yet.
has a pretty big background in idol performance,
Yeah,
so she's got her fans. But I wonder if like the more regular actress fans just reserve through someone else, and
yeah.
yeah,
Everyone's got their. At this point, if
it's
you're a long
it's
term
not
actress
ranked
fan,
it's not
yeah,
ranked choice voting. You're voting for your favorite, and
yeah,
that's it. You can't be like, all right, I want to get this ticket, and it's going to be to support Mari, but also I like Saihara.
yeah,
No,
yeah. The diehards
that's
have their choices, so yeah.
Yep.
Throw
It's a
into
struggle for
Saihara.
mid
She'll.
carders. That system's a struggle for people who aren't already established.
I will say this though,
It's a
Saihara
struggle.
is on the up. Saihara is definitely on the up. I
Yeah.
could see her next year again. Another potential breakup star. I'll talk about that.
Yep. We'll get into that later. So when you get into Korakuen, so I'm actually before the show, Actress may post a map of the area in Korakuen Hall that merchandise will be set up in.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I look at it, it's been so the every show since March and the show before March, which is December, all had the same layout. So I'm hoping that this December one it might be different because you might have more overseas fan, might be a bigger show, maybe not. I don't know, but it's been the same. So I'm going to go based on that, my experience in March, and also what I've seen from August and October's Korakuen
Yes.
shows. So when you first get into Korakuen, they have the entrance like downstairs.
Yes. I just note Korakuen Hall is a multi-level building.
Yes.
Yeah. So when you walk into the lobby, don't be thrown off. Don't go up the stairs on the right. That's a Chinese restaurant.
No.
Not to knock
So
that restaurant. I've never eaten there, but that's not what you want.
yeah, you want a elevator or the stairs on the left up to the 5th floor.
Yeah, so let's
But
talk about that just real quick. Yeah, obviously, elevator would be your easiest option.
yeah,
But if you got some time, I recommend taking that stair walk. That stair walk is nice. It's got a lot of history. You can look at the
yeah,
walls, all this people's messages, and graffiti is not a huge thing in Japan like it is back home, back in North America. But you get to see some real nice messages and
yeah,
sometimes some famous messages on those
yeah.
walls. So
It reminds me of like some great music venues in New York and in
yes,
Philly, where you have stairs into the venue, and there's just bands have written like, we played here in 2005. It's like this history. It's the same thing, but with wrestling, and it's so cool. And knowing how historic Korakuen Hall is, there's some really cool names up there, really cool things, really cool events that happen there, and just walking up those stairs is a fun experience if you're a Japanese wrestling fan in Japan for the first time.
absolutely. Yeah.
And more than likely, you'll just be stuck waiting on the stairs anyway.
Yes, yeah, because
So,
you may go up to the elevator. What will happen is sometimes, depending on setup, they'll give you your ticket because you have to get your ticket from if you're picking up,
yeah,
and then you'll have to go wait in the stairwell. So
yeah. But early before doors, for March at least, they set up the table on the first floor. But
yes,
then afterwards, they think they moved it upstairs after the doors opened.
yes.
Yes. So
They
keep
will
that
move
in
it
mind. If you arrive really early, you may be able to pick up your ticket on the first floor. So you'll be out. If you reserve your ticket, you're going to need to pick it up.
yes,
It's either going to be a desk on the first floor, or it's going to be on the fifth floor when you get up, like right at the entrance, right?
that's right. Yeah, as soon as you walk in,
Yeah.
if you see a desk, as soon as you walk into Korakuen, and it's on the right, usually next to TGI Friday sign.
Yep.
You'll just walk over there and you want to give the name of the performer that you reserve your ticket with or that you requested
Yes.
for, and if not that, your name, it will be probably it. If you did not choose a performer, I guess.
Yes. And then if
So,
it's not on the first floor, it'll be up on the fifth floor, right across from the elevators.
yeah. Have your cash on hand. That should be a good note.
Yep.
Actress Girls is
Cash.
still a cash entirety, pretty much
Yes.
promotion. So have make sure to draw some cash. There are multiple convenience stores in Tokyo
Yep.
around Tokyo Dome, so you can just hit up one of those and bring your yennies
Very, yeah.
to the actors
Very
girls.
important to note because it is cash. And I think I
Yeah,
owed you
if
money
they,
because for one of the shows.
but that's whatever. Well, yeah, future stuff. But anyways, yeah, I
Yep.
mean, yeah, just bring cash. That's all.
Yeah,
We'll
it's
leave it at that.
important. You're gonna need that for the merch too. It's all
Yeah,
cash.
it's all
So
cash. Yeah,
when you get out of the elevators, you're either gonna go to your pickup, the will call, or you're gonna go to the right, and that'll take you into a room that kind of loops back around, and that's the entrance.
yes,
And you will see the merch area, and it will be marked. So you're gonna have like an area for future ticket sales for DVD. You're gonna see a bunch of DVDs. They'll
yeah.
sell
The
the
big
back catalog of
DVD bin.
DVDs,
Yeah,
and then there's gonna be a table for checky tickets.
yes,
So this is where you would, if you wanted to get a Polaroid with a performer,
yeah.
you go there and you tell them, I want uh, Chiaki, I
Yeah,
want
uh,
Miku or
yeah,
Mari,
yeah.
and they'll give you a ticket that you can bring back one. And there's a whole process, and we'll get into that.
Yes.
We'll get
So
into that now because we're talking about the checkies.
yeah.
So
Let's lay out some ground rules. Just so you know, guys. Yeah. If it's your first time in Japan doing this thing, uh, no like table selfies. There's no buy a T-shirt, get a table selfie,
nope.
where you turn the camera and you take a shot together. You gotta pay for that. It's called a two shot or a checky. Yeah.
Yep.
And it's about I believe Actress Girls is still 1,000 yen. So just one bill.
There have been changes recently for other promotions, and
Yeah.
I will not count on that being the case for this show or
Yeah.
going forward.
Yeah.
But that's what it was in October and in August and in March. So
Yeah. The last time I
hopefully
was
it
there, it was
stays, but
still the same.
it may be different.
Yeah. And yeah, so you get that if you want a picture with the wrestler, this is how you do it. You
Yes.
go to the checky table. They'll give you you say the name of the performer you want. They should have a little card with their names on it. hold on to that card. Don't lose it. It's a nice little laminated card. You got to return it. And then when they start calling names, you can start cashing in that card. There'll be a time at the after the show, sometimes before. I'm going to imagine Korakuen because of the rush. There may be checkies before the show. Certain
Yeah, I
performers may go
saw
early.
that uh Sakura said that she would want to be out before more often. So maybe not checkies, but you might have an opportunity to at least meet her and buy a portrait before. But
Yes.
it's they may more performers after March, I feel like, have found value in coming out before the show, and that may translate into pre-show checky shots. So just keep an
Yes.
eye out. I don't think it's happened yet, but it's something that I think is a potential thing to keep in mind. But it usually happens after the show, and it's definitely a bit chaotic, and you got to be paying attention. So
Yeah.
they'll call like, okay, you know, for Marino, they'll call her out, and they usually have the checkies set up over where, like, near the entrance from outside, not the entrance from back from Korakuen Hall, but the entrance
Yes.
where you first came in, and in that corner where they have the DVDs and stuff. That's typically where the two shots are going to be, or the checkies.
Yeah.
So, but
And it
it's
depends
going
on
to move
layout too.
around. It depends on the layout. Beasts might have their own section like they did when we were there. It's, but just pay attention and listen for people yelling, Checky and arrest like Koki. If you have a
Yeah.
Koki ticket, go. It's gonna be a little chaotic, and you gotta just pay attention because there is a limited amount of time for checkies and for
Yeah.
each performer.
So this brings us to the next point. When you step up, you give them the ticket. There'll be a line foreman, and now again, the classic is the Polaroid. You do have options though. You want to use your smartphone. Smartphone's okay. If you have a nice camera, you can hand them your camera.
Yep.
Uh, Obviously, if you go with the camera or smartphone option, you can't get it signed. Now that's not a bad thing if you're trying to get everyone. If you just want the photo with the person, because then you have the photo, and you have to worry about lining up again to try to get your checky signed.
Yep.
So.
And
But if you
that's
like the
where it
Polaroid,
becomes very complicated
yes,
if you want to get them signed. So it's a really cool souvenir to have, a Polaroid right from the venue, right from that, and
yes,
signed by the performer. It's a very cool thing, but you might get caught in line when they call the next person you have a checky for. So that's always going to be a potential issue, potential problem. So just, again, keep it in mind. And you should prioritize the actual checky shot over getting the checky signed. If you pay $10 for the two shot, you're going to, you know, want the two shot instead of just waiving that just to get one that you already had signed. And
yeah,
they're
yeah,
not going to hold Koki there if all of the two shot tickets aren't used. They're
yes,
going to just say, okay, there's no more line for Koki. Now let's bring up Naho or something. So
yes,
it, it's important to just pay attention to that. I keep saying it, but it is very important. And, but you could also get portraits. There's other, like before the show, if you buy a portrait
Oh yeah, but
from the
yeah,
wrestler themselves to get it signed, you can take a picture of them, not with them.
yeah, yes, please. Yeah, there's a distinction. So yeah, like I said,
Yes.
there's no like table selfie. Turn the camera, take a picture together. Just
Yeah.
you buy the portrait, you get a photo of the wrestler, and if that's all you want, if you just want a nice up close photo of the wrestler in their gear, that is probably a perfectly fine way to do it. And
Yeah.
also, you can buy portraits ahead of time as well. So
Yes. And
um,
one thing that's great is that they label where everyone's going to be in both
yes,
Japanese and English. So you'll be able to see where the performer is going to set up and where the merch is going to be.
yeah.
And
And
sometimes it's already out there, and you could buy it from one of the helpers. So it's a pretty, you'll be able to, if you're going to really try to get and meet everyone, get a picture of everyone, get an autograph from everyone, that's probably your best bet. It is a lot of fun though to take a selfie with them and get a checky or whatever. But that's gonna be a little bit more of a process, a little bit more kidding, and you got to be paying a lot more attention instead of just getting in a line and buying a portrait and getting it signed. Tell them your name and use your phone to write your name. They will appreciate it. So it it it's definitely going to be chaotic, but as long as you pay attention and you kind of go in with the strategy, you'll be fine. You'll be able to get what you
Yeah.
need. And some wrestlers have uh more than just portraits or two shots. Like Marty had the hoodies.
Yeah.
Some have T-shirts. It was cat. Did Cat Mask have cat toys?
The cat toys was a thing Cat Mask was doing. If you reserve tickets with her,
Okay.
so I believe she
So
wasn't
yeah,
selling it.
and there are things like that too. If you reserve through Saihara, she's got like a punch card.
She's got a points card. Some of them have points cards. It's a
Yeah,
variety of things. I wouldn't worry
yeah,
about that too much your first time in.
no. But if you're
I
going to
will
become
say,
a regular,
yeah, yeah. I will say
it's
if
fun.
you're getting portraits though, I would recommend if you see one you like, get it immediately.
Yes,
they print
they
X
sell
amount
out.
and that is it. Yeah.
They
So
sell out. You saved my ass with that me one.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
twice with that me one. You're like,
yeah,
get it. I'm like, okay, I'll get it.
yeah. Because
I held it for the whole show,
yeah,
and then I
if you
almost
hold on to it if you want to wait till the end, you're risking it. Sometimes it'll just sell out. It's just
yep,
the way it is. So
yep. And Chris told me to get the portrait before the show, and I was like, all right,
portion for the
I'll
show.
get it.
Yeah,
I'll get
a
it
hundred
before the
percent if
show.
it's someone you really want. Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah,
if
it
it's
was a
someone you
great
want,
me portrait.
just pick it up. Yeah.
And
Don't
then
worry that they're not standing there. Yeah.
I was in line to get it signed, and I got called for 3 different checkies,
Yeah.
and I never got it signed until Chris
We
helped
we
me
we had to
after,
grab
which we
me.
just kind of let's get
Yeah,
this
she was
done.
trying to evacuate. Yeah.
Yeah, and I said you gotta, like I said, there's a time limit, a hard limit at Korakuen Hall where they need to all get out of there. So you're not going to have all the time in the world.
So this
So
brings up another point I actually want to touch on, just very quickly. So before the show, yeah, all the portraits are laid out. You should be able to buy them before the show, and you might notice it might be someone like Haruka, or it could even be Act, who is going to be handling portraits, helping sell them while the other wrestlers, performers are getting prepared for the show. Just politely ask them, can I buy this portrait? And they'll probably tell you it's 1,000 yen. You give them the cash. I'm sure you might want to chat up the staff, but understand when they are selling portraits and doing stuff at the merch table, they are staff. Try not to eat into their time too much. They're doing things to make sure the show runs smoothly.
yes,
So a nice thank you. And if you want to talk to Act and say, good luck in America, that's great. But it is not conversation time.
yes, exactly. And same thing with anyone who's, when you buy a portrait or a checky from someone, it's great to chat for a short amount of time, but
Yeah.
it does, they do have a hard time limit.
Yes,
So it's
this is not the time to break out a microphone and do a podcast interview. I would say a
no.
nice little, 1 or 2 minute chat while they're
Exactly.
signing. Tell them where you're from. If you want to practice a little
Exactly.
Japanese, go
They're
ahead.
gonna,
Right.
and if you just tell them you're from America, they're gonna be like, "Whoa,"
Yeah.
because it's still, a rarity for Americans to come over to see a promotion that isn't like TJPW, Stardom. Yeah, they're a smaller promotion, and they really appreciate you coming out. And if you let them know that you're there by talking to them and tell them where you came from, they're gonna know, oh, wow, like we have fans in random places. That's crazy. Like I never expected someone from New Jersey to know who I was. It's really, they really appreciate it. So
And then
yeah,
I guess that takes you to the show. So yeah, the show it's a show.
yeah. It
Find
starts
your
off with,
seat, have a seat. Yeah.
yep, starts off with a dance, and it's great. There are a couple of ground rules that it
Ah,
varies
yes.
between different promotions, but I would absolutely want to hammer in no video
No video,
recording.
guys. I'm
No
sorry.
video recording. I know, like, that's annoying, but a lot of promotions are like that. Actress is one of them, and with
Yeah, don't.
TJPW
Yeah,
allows you a certain amount of time. Wave has a weird rule of like 15 seconds in the first, like
yeah.
that kind of stuff.
The first of the
There's no
month.
recording at all. Yeah, the first of them, I don't know, but it is no video recording. But
Yeah, guys.
photography is fine. You could bring the biggest camera in the world,
Yeah.
and it's fine. As photography is good. It's weird because coming from the music world, it's the complete opposite. You can record, and it's weird because music is, you record it, it's music, but you can record a concert and have no problem, but you
Yeah,
can't bring in a big camera. It's the complete opposite over at in Actress Girls and in Japan and at wrestling
yeah,
shows. So just keep that in mind. Don't record
yeah,
with your phone, but take as many pictures as you want. Take a lot of pictures.
yeah,
It is such a photographable uh, experience. There's a lot of fun when Kuma-chan gets out there and he's flying across the this
yeah.
like flying out of the ring.
As you
uh,
watch Kurotan disintegrate before your eyes, snap
yeah,
some
take
photos.
pictures. There's gonna be fluff. It's gonna be a cool picture to share, and just share your pictures, have fun, and enjoy it. It it's such a fun experience at a show, and yeah, they have the opening dance, and then the card happens, and then you go out to the merch scramble at the end.
Now, it
It's
doesn't happen all the time, but yeah, you've probably seen if you've been to a wrestling show, action may spill outside the ring. Small tip: if you have a, this is not the time to make a picnic. Don't spread your stuff out. I would recommend if you've brought a bag with you, keep stuff relatively packed. So if you have to get
yes,
up and someone's going to slide into your chair,
yep.
your stuff doesn't get smashed up. I just
And
recommend it.
unlike the NJPW, which runs Korakuen, and they run with the guardrails. There's no guardrails.
Yes,
There's
there's
no
no
guardrails.
guardrails.
They're
Yeah,
coming right into your lap,
another. Yeah,
flying over the off the apron, and
yeah. I'm
yeah.
just saying
So
that Jidosha match has the potential to go places. So just
yep,
have your
and
stuff ready to move if you gotta.
yeah, Maru jumped off of a ladder last
Yep.
time.
Yep.
There's gonna be there's gonna be a little chaos. So just be prepared. That almost always spills out in the big matches too. I mean, even early on with Ano
Yep.
and Saki spilled out there. So just like any other wrestling show, just be careful
Yeah. Yeah.
and stay out of the way
And
of the performers.
it's the other way performers. That's a rule I think is just universal. Obviously don't. No laying hands on performers.
Yeah, don't
No.
do that. Yeah,
Yeah. The,
don't kick
the, the
speedball like
yeah.
that
Don't
one
kick
guy.
speedball. Yeah. Don't be that guy
Don't be
or
that guy.
lady.
Just don't be that guy. That should be
Don't
your
be that.
entire rule on your entire trip to Japan is don't be that
Yeah.
guy.
Enjoy the
And
show. Enjoy the
yeah,
show.
it echoes through a live show like Actress Girls show.
Yes. And what else here? I think that's about it. I mean, it's gonna when the show wraps, there'll be after show merch, and that's probably where you're gonna get a lot of your signatures and stuff done.
Yep.
And then
I'm
make
sure the
sure to
checkies will
exit the
be,
venue in an
and
orderly fashion.
hopefully we gave you enough info to get through it, get through your first show, get the merch you want, and enjoy it. Because again, it's so easy to stress out over this, and I was stressed out over it, and it took me probably to the second acting show to really understand what I had to do for checkies and portraits and stuff. So it's definitely it's unique. It's different, especially because if you're coming in for Itenyon, it's going to be one of the first shows of your trip because it's on the 29th.
Yes, it is. It's a good warm
So
up if you're
it
gonna
is
do
a good
Italy.
warm up, and you're almost getting thrown into the fire directly because it is going to be the most chaotic. You are going to have the most opportunity to meet your faves. So I know like TGPW did an offsite one, and maybe actors should look into doing an offsite merch scramble, and maybe they will.
Yeah,
But
I think because this is a later show, they won't do the offsite because
yeah,
there's no need really.
they
But
haven't done the offsite, I think, since they've rebooted.
yeah, yeah. Actress Girls? No, they did it at least once or twice.
Okay,
They
or at
did they did a
least this
conference ring
year.
one.
Okay,
This year, maybe not this year, man. I'd have to check. I
because
thought they
I
did it
because
once
the maps that I've seen them post were the same
last
Korakuen
year.
map
Yeah, I
every
think
every
also
time.
it helps that Korakuen opened up the merch area again during pandemic. Unfortunately, it was closed, so
Yeah,
no real space for it.
yeah.
Um,
So yeah, just yeah, hope good luck with your
Good
merch.
luck.
I hope
Yeah,
you get everything you want.
yeah. I
Loyal
will say, like,
customers.
yeah, just if you want to get everything signed, just temper your expectations.
Yeah, don't go for the checkies. If you really want to meet everyone, get a picture of
Get a portrait.
everyone,
Yeah,
and get a portrait. And
portraits are really
yeah,
nice.
portraits are awesome. And
Also, I think
Mahdi does a
yeah,
lot of them, right?
yes, fantastic. Yep. Yeah,
Yeah,
Mari does a lot of the portrait work,
yep.
choosing portraits,
Touches
doing
them up
the
in
touch
photo.
up with the Photoshop.
She's
Yeah.
great. Yeah. So yeah, it's yeah, if you really have your heart set on a Checky like I did,
Yeah.
that may try to get your portraits before the show if the talent's out. I know the talent's going to be more available before the show than they were before because I realized in March and probably in August that fans will try to meet them before the show too. So they realized they were leaving merch sales on the table when they didn't have to. So hopefully that works in your favor. It definitely try to do the portraits beforehand. Okay, so that's that. It is just a lot of stuff, and we just want to wish you the best of luck on
Yeah,
the
good luck.
29th.
Good luck.
Or
I
any
wish
Korakuen
you
show
get
in
all
the
your
future.
portraits signed. Yeah.
And that's the last show of the year, the Korakuen Hall show. It's been like a really fun year to watch Actress Girls because 2 years ago it seemed like the promotion was dead. The
I
tweets
mean,
that came
they
out,
literally made it sound like it was dead.
yeah, and only what 3 people carried over.
Just about,
It's
yeah.
Yeah, and to have it go from that to what it is now, the first year was one of like figuring things out and people just showing up and going, like, I can even keep doing this. Like you had people like Nishida and just kind of come in and do a couple matches and go. And is this going to be the norm now? Is it just going to be? And then now you have a very stable crew that is slowly growing, both in numbers and also in talent. And we got people to shout out all throughout the card, all throughout the roster. And I have a few things. We're not going to come up with the definitive answer to any of these. I'm not asking for that, but it's more who do you think deserves it, and just give me a quick
Sure, let's just go to like off the top of my head.
yeah.
Yeah.
So who do you think's the most improved over the course of the year?
Most improved. I think we brought this up already. I think it might be Mizushima. It might be Sakura. I
I
think like from beginning
absolutely I
to the
agree.
year, end of the year,
I
just
think
like
that is such a great shout.
yeah,
She has absolutely improved,
yeah,
and she's always had that athletic ability and that heart and something you want to cheer for. She absolutely deserves that shout. I think I would agree, but actually, my pick might be Irie. She has gone from like the bubbly, smiley, whatever last year. She joined Beasts, and now she really has stepped up into that leadership role.
I agree. I definitely think like it's when you talk about veterans that carried over, and then like people from the last system, and where she was kind of she was just kind of the bubbly
Yeah, and
babyface idol
I
style,
don't
and
think
now
she made a big impact in the last system. I think that a lot of people like really overlooked her. I'm
she
included in that too. I made a music video and I didn't even include many of her clips because she just didn't have that flash, didn't have that connection that I felt like a lot of the other performers did. And it's not, I wouldn't like blame her. I just think that every single time, like every show, like there's always something to be excited about, other wrestlers, and she just kind of slipped through the cracks for me. And I think for other Actress fans, she's never been at the top of the list, and now she very much can be, and she very much is. She's shown that she can hang. She's improved incredibly in the ring, and she's gotten that mean streak in her, and she looks like she's having a lot of fun in the ring. So, but yeah,
yeah,
I
I
think that
agree.
I think these are the top two for me,
Yeah,
Mizushima
I think
and
for
Rie.
them that comes in differently. Like I said, for me, it's like Mizushima is just a pure like rookie who stepped up, and then I would agree.
Yeah,
Ayano is a veteran who's finally like almost had to step up when the system changed over, and she's
yeah,
definitely become I would say like one of the top level
yeah,
acts in this promotion.
yeah. Cool. And then, who is your number one to watch next year? Who do you think's going to have that breakout?
It's a hard one because there's so much talent. I mean, I think it could very much be Koki's year.
Yeah,
I feel like maybe
she could win the
I think
belt.
we all mentally pushed her. I don't know if she wins. It's at the end of the year or in the
Yeah,
summer.
she could end next year as a champion. That's what
Yeah,
I
yeah,
feel like that's an inevitability
yeah.
almost, and maybe
But
it's
you know
because
what?
of how
I'm gonna say
they're
this. Natsumi. I'm not gonna count out Natsumi or Natsuki.
Natsumi.
The two
Oh
Natsus.
yeah,
I'm gonna say both
absolutely.
of them. Koki's in the lead, but those two are right on her
I
heels.
want I want Natsumi to win that championship. I want her to be the champ. I want her to reign forever. She
Yeah,
is my fave, and I want to just see all that success. But she's an older wrestler now. She's, it's got to happen next year. She's got to do it. She's got to stay determined. She's got to do it. She's got to beat Koki on the 29th, and she's got to carry that into a
yeah,
championship next year.
yeah,
I think that's good. Uh, Natsuki is also another great one. She's
yeah.
awesome.
There's so many. I could see even Asahi stepping up too, but yeah, my pick is
My pick's
Koki.
Riko Fukunaga.
Ooh, it's a good one. It's a good one.
She's been on fire since coming back. I think that people aren't taking as much notice because she's been in like the tags usually, and I think
Yes.
a lot of the other people who talk about actress, other than like the actress stage, they get into it. But like, other people kind of glance over actress and they go, okay, a 6-person tag match, we'll just skip over it. She's been on fire,
Yeah.
and since coming back now she's got her feet back under her. Next year she's set up for a huge year,
Yeah.
and especially with Ayano hurt and out for a little bit and act in the States,
The
she's
space.
the darkness brain of beasts.
Yeah.
She's gonna step up and be the chaos leader early on, and it's gonna be cool. I think she's got a good shot to be a name that people recognize by the end of next year. All right, what was your match of the year?
Oh, that's a hard one. That's a real
Yeah,
hard one. Like, it's also because I am expecting Korakuen to be a real banger.
yep,
Ah, jeez, what would it be? Like, I want to say like maybe what was it? Who was Miko? Miku and Misa was really good. I really like that
yeah.
title match.
I'm just gonna be
Um,
biased with my pick, so you're gonna have a more educated pick
I
with
mean,
more reason behind it.
yeah, like for me, it's like I don't know. It could be anything because to be honest, like I would say one of my favorite matches this year from them was Chiaki versus Great Asako. Like, it's
Yeah,
not the greatest technical match, but it's like one of the best, like one of my favorite matches. I just like the one I was like, this is just a hell of a thing.
yeah. And I like maybe like Chaki and was it Chaki and Mizushima had a good
That
one.
was a good one. That
There's
was
just
also a good
so
one. Yeah.
many great things to pick, but I'm gonna go with the one I was there for, and that was just Miku and Koki. I think it just told a great story, and I don't know. It's hard to choose one, especially because I feel like I grade matches on a different scale than okay, let's do a 5-star match. This is
Yeah.
whatever.
Oh yeah.
It's just what resonates with me more. My match of the year is barely considered a wrestling match for like the last 3 years. It's just something that has a meaning to me personally. It connects with me on a personal level beyond that, and I think that Actress is such a great platform to connect to wrestling fans beyond just the wrestling in the ring. You get an investment and buy-in. Same thing with TJPW and those kinds of promotions where you just have a buy-in from fans beyond the in-ring product. And it's hard to choose, especially when you put the emotional weight behind the matches.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know. I could go with any of those. In the rookie tournament,
Big
I think
tournament was
every single
also
one
good.
of those matches could be, especially Chiagi's matches, can be in the conversation. So it's hard, and I agree. But yeah, uh, that I think we shout out a lot of great matches there. And then who was the MVP for the year? I think
MV. You know what? I might have to give it to the big dog. She carried
it's
that title all the
unanimous.
way through the year.
I don't
Yeah.
think you could choose anyone else for this.
Yeah, she's like,
It's
it's a hell of a run so far with that title, bringing it back, winning it, and then just like
yeah,
holding it. And believe every single title defense believable.
absolutely. Yeah, she is on fire, and like I said, even people who aren't paying people who pay attention to Actress have her up there, and people
Yes,
who aren't paying attention are hearing that she's there, checking it out, and agreeing. So she is having a hell of a run. She is the perfect person to build this promotion around or rebuild this promotion around, and it's paying off so well that you're gonna have this match against Madi, and you're gonna have just next year is gonna be a year where she's going to elevate somebody into the stratosphere in actress
Yes.
if Mari doesn't defeat her on the 29th, which we want to see. But
Yes.
it's made that championship relevant, and it didn't exist a year ago.
Right, because it was literally I count this as a brand new, almost yeah, it's a fresh
Yeah.
championship, fresh belt, and she's
Yep.
very much establishing it as something important,
Yes.
the promotion and something that's a prize in this industry of act
Yes.
wrestling.
Yep. So yeah, those are the little
Those are our
year-end
picks.
wrap up I wanted to do, just to pick your
May
brain, get an
change.
idea of
I'm
what
gonna
you
put a little
thought.
asterisk on it because we'll see what happens from Korakuen.
Yes.
Things could shift slightly,
Yes.
but
Okay.
moving
And then
on.
you were at Comic Con,
I
Tokyo
was at
Comic
Comic
Con.
Con. I was at Comic Con
Okay.
for 2 days to watch, sit by a ring and literally not barely go and look at the comic stuff. Yeah, ARG had two double shows. They did it last year before. This year, yeah, I would say even better. Like it was more matches straight up. Last year was not act ring matches. They were act wrestling matches, and they were only two of them technically. It was two stage shows, and then there was some act wrestling at the end. Today, this year, it was two different performances with two different, four matches. I want to say, which can be viewed, I believe, online on YouTube,
Yep, they are
or
up on
should be
YouTube.
on YouTube. So I won't go too into depth. Yeah, really fun. I think they did a great job presenting what acting is. Uh, I think a lot of people were impressed. Like a lot of foreigners were like, "What is this?" And then like, "Oh, they're like very impressed by the level of." I think I think they were like thrown off by the costumes and the everything, and then they saw the actual wrestling. They're like, "Wow, this is a thing." Um, and yeah, it's some great performance. I think like we talk about Rico. Rico had I think some great moments in the Bijou match that they put on. I think Alan had some great moments in her match as part of Skyrex. Yeah, definitely check those out. And I think it sets a good precedent for next year. Like I'm hoping they just add even more because it's fresh eyes. Is what it really was. And coming off of that, also Mari very busy. That whole weekend, Mari was just crazy busy, and so was Saihara because Saihara and Mari then the next day proceeded to participate in the AST Action Stunt Technique show, which was a show run by Mari's kind of a ninja spin-off team, which I think she's actually been doing longer than even
She has been. There's videos of
Action
her
Girl
doing
thing.
like the ninja show in airports, train
That's right.
stations
She's a
around
real
the country.
ninja. Let's not forget that. First and foremost, real ninja. Uh, and yeah, this was another thing where she did two performances. Nice, fun little thing. Again, also on YouTube. Look it up. You just go to AST's Twitter account or check out Mari's account. Um, and it was just a little like no dialogue plays where Mari got to and Saihara got to dress up, get attacked by ninjas, fight back, and display their ninja fighting talents. Very cool, very unique, and definitely check it out on YouTube. Yeah, something a little different, something to remind you that they have backgrounds in other things.
Yep. And so for Saihara in ARG, her
Yes,
character is a ninja who isn't good at sneaking.
yes.
How is her ninja show character? Was she sneaking? Was she good? Was she throwing people?
Not much sneaking because she is, well, in this
Just
case,
fighting people off?
she's a cool gentleman ninja, and
Oh,
she
okay.
fights people off quite cool. Yes,
Excellent. Okay.
reminding us that when she has to, she can very much be the Ikemen Joshi that you want, and she defends both herself and Mari against ninjas attacking for them for what looks like a scroll of who knows what. But yeah,
Amazing.
very good performance. Uh,
Good.
nice little side project. We'll see where it goes in 2024. I wouldn't mind seeing a little bit more of that.
Yep. I'm hoping to see more ARG stuff
Yeah,
next
that
year.
reminds me. Yeah, and a little tweet went out too at the end of that whole show was
Yep.
they're looking for more ARG talent.
Yep.
Potentially, not potentially, they want to spin up a new group and get a new leader. So who knows who that's going to
Yeah.
be?
I mean, they've
He,
had some turnover during the pandemic.
um,
Some people
you
have
know,
changed things. I mean, Kawara left, and
yeah.
Himawari left, and it's they're still working on solidifying some of those teams. They need more
I will say
people, and I'm glad
Koala
they put it.
showed up a couple of times. She's helping out at merch occasionally, so she's still
Yep.
around, still
I've
hanging
I've
out.
I've heard like some things. She was it her eye. She's had some issues with her eye, her
Yeah,
vision, some health stuff, and she hasn't completely written out a comeback
I
into
would
the
love her
ring.
just
Yeah, but
act,
she's still
ring
present.
as part of Gems. I wouldn't mind her just being there as part of Gems. I think that'd be
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
Um,
She was really fun, and I'd love to see her in some capacity back.
yes,
But yeah, like
yes,
they it because of the amount of people involved, it's hard to just manage that and
yeah,
sustain that. And especially during the pandemic when people are like, oh, well, the only option is to do something like this for a bit. So now it's stabilized. It's kind of got a foundation. Uh, you got the yearly Comic Con appearances, and if they can run more shows and stuff and give these more opportunities, it's going to be way more appealing. And they said they also want to run more shows next year,
yes.
so
More
I'm
more
really
acting
hoping for that
shows.
because
So
the March shows happened, and then there was nothing until
yeah,
I think they redid the Mirror Edition
they
show
did in
show.
fact. Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll do a whole episode about acting one
We
day.
will get to more
We'll do
in-depth acting.
everything.
Yeah,
Yeah, but right
I,
now, we're just shouting out the show that just happened and
I
seemed like
want
a
to
lot of
sit.
fun.
I definitely want to sit down at some point, like just get a whiteboard, like an insane person, and try to work out the acting timeline, like Legend of Zelda style.
That's just the acting section of my website. It's
Yeah,
just a
yeah,
mess because it is very intricate, and there are time travelers involved too, so it
yep,
makes it even more confusing and crazy. And there's also yeah, we'll dive into that another time. But it is a fun thing to dive into, and just the costumes alone and the costumes and the choreography are fantastic. So
yeah.
it's such a fun watch, and even not knowing much going into it for a Comic Con crowd, I can see it why it would resonate. And then yeah, the ninja show, that's a lot of fun. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm glad that you enjoy that. And you also were at the Count 2.9 sequel.
That is correct. So, Count 2.9, which is technically not Actress Girls and not even Act Wrestling. It is a play uh, that they have put on before. This is a play coming off very much even the old system. Count
Yep,
2.9 is a story of Hifumi Ichinose, I believe that's the main character's name,
yep.
who is a idol who gets fired from our idol
Now
group and transferred to the parent company's wrestling promotion and must navigate her new life as a pro wrestler, which is the basic setup for Count 2.9,
and it
as well.
sounds like a story we've heard in the past from a lot of different people who've come through Actress Girls.
Yes, it is
Similarly,
very much torn from the story of Actress Girls.
yes. And who was the original performer of the lead role? Was it
Natsumi Maki.
Natsumi Maki?
That's
Natsupoi?
correct.
Yeah. So
Boy, Natsupoi.
that's really
Uh,
just
yeah, and
really cool.
currently that character is being performed by Datsuki. Uh,
Yeah.
so, and she's doing a wonderful job. What I love about it, and I didn't realize it until this play, so watching the second play, uh, I, I obviously Natsumi Maki kind of set that character the first time. I think a lot of Natsuki's performance choices are based on Natsupoi. So you can actually see her kind of doing almost what I don't want to call it an impression, but very much there's a franticness in Natsuki's performance that is, I think, very much guided by what Natsumi Maki did in the original play, because I can
Yes.
totally see her character in that.
That's great. Yep.
But yeah, Count to 9. I wish they put it on DVD or on Nets or something. It's a very simple story to follow. Uh, again, it is mostly a play. There are kind of two matches at the end. There's like a little action at the beginning. They tear down the ring. The play ensues, and it's a nice simple story about a young wrestler trying to come up, and then some politics going on, and then at the very end they have kind of what we call the matches. So
Yeah, it seems really cool. And I always see people talking about the gear when it comes out because people wearing other people's gears.
uh,
Like,
Yeah.
Natsuki was wearing like Poi's original
Yeah, the
gear.
OG gear, yeah.
Tai was wearing Kakuda's gear on this one because Tai was
Yeah.
there for.
Tai returning. I believe she returned to the role she had initially,
Okay, yeah.
which was as a Dynamite Tsukimura. I believe that's her character's name.
So it's a really fun thing to like even observe outside through pictures because there's
Yeah.
just it's so different. You get to see wrestlers wearing different colors, like Tai wearing not green. Like what?
It's
it's
brain confusing. Yeah.
it's so confusing. You see like yeah, and it's always really fun to watch. And some of the old gear that gets dug up
Yep.
for these shows. They
Going to the
I know
archive.
for they dug up the title belt. I know for the original
Yeah, it is.
reperformance.
Yeah,
So
the original actress girls belt is part of the Count 2.9 performance.
cool. Yeah, so a lot of cool little things, especially if you've been watching the promotion from the original days. Just there's so many cool things. And I haven't even seen a single show of it, but I just seeing the pictures and hearing the stuff that comes out of it. They're really special shows, and I'd really love to get there for one of them. So I'm really glad that you were able to get there and just tell us just what's going on with those because
It's a good fun story.
people
To be
ask
honest,
about it.
yeah, this is a thing. Like this is a story that if this was like 3 years ago or 4 years ago when Netflix was just throwing money at things, this would have been a wonderful like 6-part, one season show. I, like you could have pitched this to Netflix. They would have said, "Sure, here's like $10 million. Go film this thing." But yeah, like it's a very easy to follow story, and I'm hoping at some point we get the performances up somewhere because they're very good.
Because they recorded the previous Count 2.9, well, the
Yeah,
original,
I
but
believe there's some footage floating around
there,
somewhere,
yeah, there
but
is. I think I think it's on YouTube, and it's a like a very abridged version. It has I think the intro
yes,
sequence. It has some dancing. It has a little bit of combat, and then it ends. So it's you're not getting the full picture, but at least you're seeing like the costumes, the vibe. You're getting a kind of an idea of what's going on. And I'm hoping something similar comes out for the one that just happened. And I hope one day we get a full DVD of maybe both of them.
yeah. I could see them doing another performance of this one too at some
Cool.
point. So who knows? In the future, we'll get a redo of this performance, and hopefully, this I'll say this sequel ends on a cliffhanger.
Ooh,
I can totally see Count 2.9 Part 3 occurring in the future.
okay. Looking forward to that and the eventual maybe tie wearing red or something. No, something really,
She'll wear blue,
really messed up.
and then it really won't make sense. Yeah,
Oh no,
blue tie was just
uh,
a scary thought.
it's like Blue Raku,
Yeah, it's a nightmare.
terrifying. All right,
And
so talking about tie and partnerships and stuff you don't
yeah,
expect, we got AJPW
yeah,
announcing a lot.
late in the year, they hit us with a bomb.
Yep.
Yeah, AJPW has announced a partnership with Actress Girls
Yep, and I think
of
on the
sorts.
and January 2nd is
That is
the
correct.
AJPW show that they might be participating in or might make an appearance at. So that's going to be
That's
interesting.
right.
That's going to be pretty cool. I don't think they've announced anything other than that. They had the
That,
little silly video,
yeah,
and it's exciting. It we saw what happened with Ice Ribbon. We saw what happened with even Kitsune. I hope it doesn't happen here.
yeah,
Uh, I doubt it will. It's both parties seem really hyped about it,
yeah.
and
And
AJPW is trying to do a lot of interesting things. I mean, they're part of that new alliance. They're doing so, and they're really having a pretty interesting year.
yeah,
I've been somewhat paying
I will
attention to
say,
them.
yeah, they're back on the rise. They had a
Yeah,
rough time during the pandemic. AJPW is very much, I think, it's an older school promotion. I think it plays better live. So the
yeah,
pandemic really hurt them when they
yeah,
couldn't get live crowds in. And
yeah,
now that they can get crowds back in, they've been doing the shows have been picking up. The numbers look a little better. I think
yeah,
the Saito brothers got a lot of heat behind them. So that's what I know
yeah.
from my limited HBW watching. And yeah, this is maybe they are looking to expand, and I think obviously they have their own little project. They have Evo Girls, Uh, and unfortunately, obviously, one of the Sunny had to step down. There's only three in Evo: Zones, Chi and Sunny. Sunny obviously having to step down. Now this is a great opportunity for. I don't know what the crossover would be, but I would like to think it's an opportunity similar to Best Buy Japan, where you have Yamanaka coming over and doing reps in
Yep.
Actress Girls. You could have the Evo girls come over and do some
Yeah, I'd love to
crossover
see that.
shows. Yeah.
I think I'm reluctant to say that's the way it's going to go, just because
Yeah.
of the way that Actress has done their business, especially with Ice Ribbon and pulling Sumikawa and Act from Kitsune. It's it's like it that is like I feel like people might look too deep into that. It really was just two different ideals of what that participation was going to be,
Yeah.
and they decided we best to just break it off. It wasn't really like them. Oh, we don't want you. We don't want them there. We're pulling them out of there. It was really just like, okay, they talked through some plans, and okay, it's not going to work out. Let's just end
Yeah.
this
Indeed.
before
Here.
it becomes a drama.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
yeah, so that's all it was. So I think that as long as they go into it with the right expectations, both promotions, there'll be
Yes.
something good. I hope that it comes a crossover, because like the Evo girls are really fun to watch,
Evo.
and
Yeah. They've
it
been doing a great job with it
yeah,
with an extremely limited roster.
yeah, and they bring in good guests. It's really been a lot of interesting stuff, and I think that they match up well with the Actress girls.
Yes. I think
But I don't know if they were going to actually get that crossover. We may just have an appearance in a bubble at an AJPW show, and that's it.
that could also be
That's
it.
that's what I
And
would bet my money on, but I think we do have an opportunity there, because they have shown, okay, they have worked with the Best Body crew. So it's I don't know. One thing I know about pro wrestling in the last 3 or 4 years, anything's on the table.
everything's on the table. Who knows where anything is going in 2024?
Yep.
Uh, Act is heading to America, so that could be a
Yeah.
whole thing in itself too. So,
Yep.
but
Okay. So yeah. So
yeah,
it's exciting.
I
It's something to
will.
be excited about.
I
And
believe I'm going to that show, so I will be able to
hell
report
yeah,
later on what is going on with that. But I'm excited.
it's
Yeah,
exciting. It's exciting. I think that there's a mystery around it. I know some people have been like, like how can they be there? They're not wrestling, but I think you really just got to be excited about it, because it's more crossover stuff. You have the UJPW. There's just so much going on right now to be excited about in wrestling, and there's just one more, just really cool thing that has the potential to be like fantastic, or
a
just something
lot
to
of things to
keep
be
an eye
excited.
on.
Wrestling, yeah,
Yeah,
wrestling's exciting. Act wrestling's exciting. It's
yeah,
going to be a good year. Is my
yep,
feeling.
yep.
But yeah, well, we'll see where it goes. Yeah, I don't want to start speculating too much because who knows at the moment.
And then next year, kicking things off with those unit shows
That's right.
in Actress. So that's going to be really, really, really fun. The Jidoshu show we talked about was so much fun. And there's going to be another Jidoshu show, but there's
That's
also going to
right.
be a Royal show. There's going to be a Teppen show. There's going to be a Beast Rebellion show. Uh, going to be
All in
just,
January.
yeah, all in January. So it's going to be a good month for Actress. Really fun, really interesting. You've got like on the Royal show, there's a Royal joining match between Naru, Miku, Mari, and Asako. Just shoehorn her way into it.
Yep.
So that's gonna be fun. There's like a crown rules match. I don't. It's
Oh,
you have to
I
pin the
hope they
person
bring
to the
the
crown.
tiara back. They should just
Yeah,
bring the old actress girl tiara back.
it's gonna
'Cause that,
fall off everyone's head again. Then you
yeah,
got like on the Teppen show. There's a Calico 3 trials match where she's gonna fight Mari, Kanamiku, and Natsuki.
yeah,
So that's
yeah.
going to be an interesting thing. So there's a lot of really fun stuff, and there's then the Jidoshi show is going to be insane. If it's anything like the previous one, that's going to be a blast. And there's already like a zoo match produced by Bulldozer. So I don't know what that's about. That's going to be crazy. And then on the 31st, there's a Beast show, and with Act not present on the shows in 2024, and Ayano possibly still being injured, that's going to be an interesting one. They're going to get creative with it if they can't fight, but it's yeah, that's going to be an interesting run of shows, and it should be just a blast. And when they get up on nets, they're just going to be binge worthy watching all of them.
Well, we'll see, because I know I was able to at least get into the ring, do a little bit of again, a little bit of action, not maybe not wrestling, during the Comic Con. So I'm
Yeah.
hopeful that her twisted ankle is just a minor injury she'll be able to get over in time.
She's currently announced for the crown match on the 12th on the Royal Produce show, but it's one of those I'm not sure if that's going to hold up. But
Yes,
it might, and I'm hoping that she does. I love to see her back. Like I said, she's one of the most improved wrestlers this year. She's poised for a great 2024, especially being the leader of Beasts. So
agreed.
yeah, then that show should be interesting too because they're a very interesting crew, Beasts, with Chiaki and Rico, and it's gonna be good. So yeah, and then there's beyond that, there's a lot of things that these actress girls do outside of the ring, and I'm just gonna run down to kind of tell you like so. Even within the actress universe, there's the Game Squad. They play Fortnite, um, Monster Hunter. They play a whole bunch of video games on YouTube. You can watch them and stream them. They have the Book Club, which has not Sahara's in it. Sakura's in it, and Sakura, Natsumi, Bulldozer. They're all in that. And then they have the Sake Club, which is Act and Kira On, which is fun. So there's a lot of stuff going on even within Actress, but then outside of Actress, everyone's got something going on. So I'm going to give a quick rundown. It's not going to be quick. There's a lot of things happening, and I'm even going to include some Actress adjacent people who are part of Actring. So, and Chris, you could chime in too, but here we go. So,
Yeah.
Koki. So
Yep.
her cross-dressing Greek mythology idol group has grown to 3 people, and they're performing on January 7th as part of a birthday party for Koki and Misato, another member of the trio. And there may be a paid stream for that, so keep an eye out for that. Saihara Marito, her previous idol group, Chubbiness, is reuniting for a 10th anniversary show in Akihabara on the 14th.
That's right.
Me,
That's right.
yep.
I
So,
gotta. I
yeah,
need to listen to all their songs and pretend I'm a fan, a
exactly.
lifelong fan.
She's really really talented. She's and like the music video is up there. You can see her in it in her
I
past
believe,
life.
yeah,
Really
I believe
fun,
this
and
is her
they
10th
have
anniversary as a performer. Yeah,
it is her 10th anniversary as a performer, the 10th anniversary of Chubbiness, and they kind of like buck the trend of the idol groups.
that's right.
They want body positivity. They it's very cool, very different, and just cool to see them get back together because they I think they'd all broken up, and for them to reunite for a 10th anniversary and to see Saihara do something back in the idol world, gonna be fun. So definitely something that hopefully maybe a video or something will come out at some point because these idol groups, you never know if something
You
will
never
get
know.
released or not. So hopefully, and then me wrapped up a performance in November. So she was just part of a stage performance in November.
Yes,
Naho, she has a performance coming up in February. It's a stage adaptation of a book/movie called Junpei Think Again. It is produced by Stray Dog, which is her production company that she's a part of. Uh, it's been sold to me as unique for Stray Dog because it is one of the few things they put on with a male lead. But it's happening
yes.
in February, and it's something if you're in Japan to check out. I know like some people went to the anniversary show in I think March or April of this year, and they had a great time. So definitely something to keep up with. Uh, Yui's got a Yui Tenshoku. She's got a million things going on.
She has almost too many things going on.
She's got idol stuff. She's emceeing. She's got a stage production in February. Follow her on Twitter if you want to check her out if you're in Japan. She's got a million things going on. Maru, her theater company is just groundbreaking. Uh, so they're holding auditions for a new production, and their current roster includes Kyoka Maru, Ranmaru, and Nanami Togi. And previous members were Misa Matsui, Risa Sera, and a founding member was Natsumi Sumikawa.
That's correct.
So they like I said, Maru has always had this connection with wrestling, and it shines through on her production company because she does stories that are inspired by wrestling. She incorporates wrestling into her shows. She just did that run of shows with Sheeta, and they had wrestling matches on each of the shows, including Mike Ozaki and Miyuki Takase. Just fun stuff, and that connection's always been there. So she's always doing cool things and pushing the boundaries of professional wrestling and stories you can tell with it. So yeah, if you see
I,
any her doing a show and you're in Japan, go for it.
I definitely would like to catch a Maru produced play one day. They
Yeah,
seem very fun, and also very very well done. To be quite
I
honest.
I was so bummed that I missed the Sheeta performance by
Yes,
by
that
just a
one
few
looks great.
days.
Yeah.
That looked I had the DVD. It's great. And then so we got a new member of Bijou
Yes.
recently, Ayaka Tsukishiro. She is one of the most talented human beings I've ever seen in my life. Her
Yet another
dancing, her
person who has too many things
choreography,
going on.
everything is
Yeah.
amazing. So she's doing a lot of cool things, and I know that like actress would love to have her as a full-time member of the roster or even
Yes.
have her like do something. I know that she does like eventually like, that does show up to practices and stuff, but she is booked through April with various things. She right now she's doing a production of Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat.
She
Like
is. Yep.
it's incredible. So she's doing really interesting stuff over there. So, but she's someone to keep an eye on if you're an actress fan. Maybe one day she'll actually debut in an actress role.
Yeah.
But she is currently in
Currently mostly
Bijou.
acting. That's right.
Yeah, she's currently in Bijou. She originally did stuff with Bijou as like a host, the MC of events, and then she actually like officially joined. I think on the most
Yes.
recent shows. So
You may see her if you watch act the definitely if you watch the some of the act. She's been at least one of the Nets shows. Do they have any of the shows with her on it?
I
Even
don't,
just like ringside
I
or
don't,
something.
I'm not sure. She may be like ringside for like an act breast show, maybe like at the merch early on stuff. I don't think she's on any of the content up there right now,
Yeah.
but she yeah, and like if you're a fan of Unlimited Dream Navigator, shouts out to Arisa Hoshiki Udon
Oh,
Sato.
yeah.
She's got a fantastic video out on her Twitter. I may have to dig for it. She
Yes.
dances to one of their songs and it is so good. Just check it out.
Yes.
And then
Very
another,
talented.
yeah, very very talented, just dancer and so yeah, absolutely. Just check out her work and yeah, you'll see why I'm raving about her. And then another act ring only kind of performer is Yasuka Nakayama, and
Mm-hmm.
she's got a stage production coming up in February. So she is River Forest Owl in Hagakure in ARG. And
Yes.
another really like I think she does like choreography. She does action stunts, action stuff. So very cool person, and I don't want to blow her covers, so I'll move on from her. But she is just so cool, so talented, and another person who brings a lot to Actress from outside when it comes to combat and that kind of production. And it especially shines through in acting.
Yeah. So I've heard to say, but another great performance at that Comic Con show in her role as part of Hagakure. Yeah, definitely check her out and check
She
out her
was
other work.
awesome in March too.
Yes.
Awesome in March. Just so much fun to watch. Mizuka has got a
Yes.
million things going on with her dance school. That's why she hasn't been. That's why we were seeing a lot more Yumi lately ring announcing.
Yep.
So Mizuka's dance school, they're putting up a lot of videos on YouTube. They're doing public performances. They're just doing a lot of stuff. The B Style team. So check them out. It's the same. You know, she does all the choreography for Actress Girls for the love riddles and all that. The opening dance. So you'll see a lot of that in there. And then speaking of Yumi, she's got some solo
Yes.
shows coming up in
That's
February,
right.
including one with Act, I believe.
That's right. Yeah, she'll be
And
there.
speaking of Act, she is coming to the US in March and April via the Joshi Pod. Shouts out Eric. Um, And on Christmas Eve, she's going to be at a barbecue event, cross
Yes,
between Beast
very
and
important.
Teppen. Yeah, so that's interesting. That's fun. That's going to be a fun thing if you're around early for that. And if this goes up before then, if not,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah. Well, you know what happened. Yeah, looking forward to Axe time in America. I know she's announced for March and April as far
Yep.
as West
I'm
Coast.
I'm hoping that she makes it out to the East Coast for
Yeah,
Mania.
I
It's
I, I
the
can't
timing will.
remember. I can't remember if it was just me talking to her or it was
We're
I
getting the
think she
real
might post to
scoops here.
Instagram. But I believe I don't believe well, I think she's planning more than uh just the 2 months in America. Although some of that could just be time she spends in America. I don't know. She might want a vacation. That'd be cool.
Yeah, she's
But
put
as
a
it
lot of
stands,
work in
yeah,
too.
March, April. Look forward to Ak Yasukawa in America.
Hoping to see her in Philly for Mania weekend.
That would be a good time. That's definitely a possibility.
Yep. I mean, I'm 20 minutes from Philly, so let's go. 20 minutes
Yeah,
from Center City. So that's gonna be exciting to see what she does. The American wrestling scene has really shifted, especially when it comes to women over the last year and a half. Now that more and more wrestlers are coming over from Japan, and you see it's been really fun as a fan here. So to add Act now to that equation, I mean, in a couple of weeks, I'm seeing Risa Serra, Hyper Misao, now Kakuda, and Moka Miyamoto. Uh, so it's anything can happen here in the U.S. and Act just now being another name of someone you can just see in your town or in the closest city is really cool, and absolutely keep an eye out for her and go see her if she's nearby.
definitely. I highly recommend catching Ak Yasukawa. I think, especially if you haven't been watching Actors Girls, I think obviously maybe people know her from her past history in Stardom, but I think you'll be surprised what she's been up to the last few years, even sharpening what was already a great skill set. And
Yeah,
definitely catch her live if
she's
you find
another
out.
one who I feel like was lacking a little bit of confidence early on. She was even wrestling under a mask, and then now that she's got her feet back under her, she has been on fire. Great matches lately, and maybe at the maybe like the most athletic of her career. She's been really killing it. So I'm really excited for what comes in the future in America, and then when she comes back to Japan. I think that
That's
it's
right.
only going to serve her and Actress Girls well because she said she's going to come back to Actress and
Yeah.
bring what she's learned over there back. So that's exciting.
Yeah. Bring what she's learned over there. Maybe bring some connections. We'll have to see.
Yep. And then,
But
yeah. Speaking of another person who's kind of out of action right for the moment, Yufa. She's
yes,
got a musical coming up. She's been doing some cosplay. She's been doing some like Disney cosplays. She's been doing some really cool stuff, keeping busy. And she said she's going to be back soon. So,
yes, she definitely wants to get back in it. She's been at shows, just hanging out, helping out. So
yep.
I think she's itching to get back in the ring. Yeah, I mean, she had a great start, and I think 2024 she gets healthy again. Some exciting things from Yufa for sure. One to watch.
Yep, and she's got performances coming up in January of a musical called Sight. So
Mm,
if you're something to check out, and maybe after that is when she'll start getting back into the ring. And then Chaki's got a stage performance that wrapped up called Fool's Journey. So that
yeah.
just wrapped up, and she's an incredible actress. I don't know if there's a on Maru's YouTube. There is actually it might be Misa. I think it's Misa Matsui's YouTube,
Oh, okay.
and she shows the intro of the what of Misa's produced show, and then the ending of the show in a video, and it's just Chiaki's presence is so good. I
Yes,
would love to see her in one of these kinds of performances.
I should hunt down I know there's a DVD for some
Yeah,
of that, so I need to.
there's a DVD. There's also a CD. If you get the CD, hook me up. But yeah, no the DVD as well. It's pretty. Yeah, it's it seems like a really cool really interesting performance, really emotional performance, and just from the intro and the outro, seeing Chiaki and Kyoka Iwai both interact, and I think Amikura Rina Amin was in it, so it really cool. Just seeing those performers do something outside of a ring and do something
Yeah,
different and just act as actresses is cool. And that's part of why I put this whole part together, because there's a whole nother world that these women are participating in outside of the ring. And then you have the Seal Camp crew, which is Nagisa, Sakura, Kanamiku, and Kawara. They're a bit quiet now, but they technically are a voice acting agency, but
yes,
Nagisa's not a voice actor. It's weird, but I know Mizushima has a play that needs to be rescheduled, so something to keep an eye on there. Uh, Rensan has a role coming up in a Mutsumi Carino play, and Carino is the director of Shell.
that's right.
So something to just another thing, cool thing. And then we talked about Ishikawa. She hasn't performed in Actress since November, but she's doing various things, various productions we talked about, and she's doing lighting. She's a lighting engineer as well as a performer and a wrestler or a act wrestler. So she's got a full slate of stuff going on, and I hope that she pops up because she's always been a wrestler. I don't think that gets a lot of appreciation, but she
No,
does a
and
lot of cool things, and she's
I would
got
like
a
her to get some more reps. I think
absolutely.
a few more reps in that ring. I think she's again another potentially great talent for that promotion.
Yep. And then I'm saving this one for last because it's absolutely ridiculous. Asako is doing some sort of variety idol improv show
Uh-oh.
in Roppongi like
Oh
today
boy.
or tomorrow. So that's something that sounds so perfectly Asako. So
It
it's
sounds, yeah, quintessentially Asako.
yeah. So it's definitely something that would be fun to see in person, but it's happening like right now. So sorry, listeners, but definitely something like it's just cool hearing what they're up to. And I want to just have this section where we could appreciate what they're doing outside the ring. And there are other things that pop up. Ayano just guested at a maid cafe, and there's always things happening with the talent. So just keep an eye on Twitter. And I think I'm gonna try to use the AWBoy'Z Twitter
All
to
boys.
All Boys Twitter
Let me
to
say
just amplify these things,
yes.
to say, hey, this is happening, that's happening. So just keep an eye out there, but mostly just keep an eye on what the wrestlers are posting themselves, or the performers are posting themselves, because it is they're all doing a million things, and the fact that they have also spent so much time focusing on their in-ring craft is really incredible.
Yes,
And
on top of all their other activities, it is very impressive.
yes, so yeah, that is mostly what I wanted to talk. I wanted to
Yeah,
make sure we got a lot of that in, and I'm glad that we got that in. I'm glad that we were able to shout out everyone, and we're really really excited about what 2024 is going to hold, and we're really excited for this Korakuen show.
and
And I hope that
right now I'm looking at Twitter and I'm seeing everyone dressed in Santa costumes and ramming each other's head with reindeer cosplay. So you know what? This show from Osaka is already looking like it could change my entire match of the year recommendations.
really the previous system Christmas shows were legendary.
Yes,
So
yes.
I this one seems to be more in the vein of those that we got.
And speaking of alumni, I am looking forward. I am hoping I will see Kakeru wearing a Christmas tree outfit before this year ends out.
Yes,
So
that is a
here's hoping.
yearly tradition. And speaking of Actros alumni, Takase DPW Women's
Yeah.
Champion.
Oh
That
boy.
is
What a good way to end the year.
amazing. Yeah, so it's it's been a great year for current actress, previous actress. I mean, a lot of people have Ano as a top wrestler of the year. I mean, Tam Nakano, red belt
Yeah.
champion stuff. Like it's been
Tam Tam.
like it's been a year that really just hammers home how influential Actress Girls has been,
Yeah.
and it's been really cool to watch just everyone kind of sing its praises, even indirectly.
Yes.
So, and they continue to just produce amazing shows, amazing talent, and it it's just, I mean, even you got the TJPW tag champs. You've got with Kakuda there. It's
Yes.
incredible just seeing all the success happening all over the scene. And it's the current crew has that potential. The current crew has people with that potential to be the next stars. And I don't want to promote AWG as like, another, oh, it's where you'll see the stars of stardom before they go
Yes,
somewhere
let's
else,
not.
right?
Yeah,
Because I feel like they're building something that is so special in its own right that it's going to be big enough where people know them anyway. And
yeah. I
maybe they're
it
going to choose a different route in their career later on, but I think that they're building something in Actress where you're going to see Miku and Koki, and they're going to be names that Joshi fans know around the world. And
and yeah, I definitely think if you enjoy the scene, definitely watch Actress Girls.
yeah,
It is a promotion where there's action in the ring, and I think you'll enjoy it if you enjoy other
yep.
Joshi promotions.
Don't let the it's not wrestling thing scare you away because it
Yeah.
is very much just like any other wrestling promotion, and the in ring is way more solid than I think anyone would expect as an outsider. And it really is like a great product to watch in the ring. And some things could get frustrating when it comes to management of promotions, but that could happen for anyone. I mean, Stardom fans complain about stuff, TJPW fans complain about stuff, and I don't have the same kind of complaints about Actress Girls. My complaints tend to be more like, I don't know,
I, my
nothing about the
complaint.
actual in-ring product. Like
No, no.
I feel like
My complaint is like I need Mari. Why is Mari not on the screen?
yeah,
We should always have more Mari on the screen.
why can't I gif everything? That's my
Yes.
complaint.
Oh boy,
That's my complaint. Everything else I'm
boy.
cool with. It's it,
2024. The gift situation needs to be
yeah.
sorted out.
The booking is good. It's interesting, and it solves a lot of the problems I think a lot of fans of other promotions get frustrated with when it comes to building new talent because they had to build new talent, and they've done it in 2023 superbly. If you really just want to see new wrestlers to get excited about, there's no better source than Actress Girls.
Yes.
There's no better source. If you're for someone who gets frustrated at it's taking so long for my favorite to get up the card, or it's why or even the opposite, like there's chaotic and a million champions and another thing. Actress is like it's weird. It's just it's stable, but there's so much changing and so much growth. But it's a logical growth. It's a growth that makes sense.
Yeah. It's a great promotion to follow if you don't have a lot of time either, because
Yeah,
one of the benefits of a closed system is there's not a lot of matches you got to follow outside. You
yeah,
subscribe to Nets, you're getting pretty much everything you need to know.
yep. And they don't run. I mean, they're not like Seedling and they only run like 4 shows a year, but they don't
That's right.
run. They're not like TJPW that can run like a few shows in a week. I mean, right now they're running it like pretty often, but they're just cashing in on year end stuff at this
That's
point.
right.
So year end
You'll
is going
get
to
one or
be
two
busy for
matches a
any
month
promotion.
at
Yeah,
least. Yeah.
yeah, you're going to get 1 or 2 shows a month usually. Sometimes you get a little bit more.
Yeah.
Um, and usually they're up on nets within a day or two. Sometimes it takes a week or so. It really depends on
Yeah.
like where the shows fall.
Yes.
So yeah, it's really worth investing in. So we're just singing all the praises though. If you've made it this far, thank
Yeah,
you.
if you've made it through this much rambling, thank you. Number one, number two, praise Mari. Uh,
Yep.
and here's the 2024. Yeah,
Here's 2024. So thank you all for listening. It's been I've never done hosted a podcast before. I've done a couple with Strong Stylish and always had a blast. And I want to thank those guys for having me on in the past. And without them, this wouldn't have been possible. And I want to thank Chris for joining me and also for all the help he gave me in Japan, getting to Actress Girls and other shows.
and
And
side note, if you do need if anyone's coming to Japan and they do have some questions about actress girls or just navigating the Japanese uh scene to get tickets and stuff, feel free to message me on X, Twitter, Twitter. Well, no, Twitter. Message me on Twitter at chris2klee.com .com, chris2klee. And yeah, I'll try to answer you if I can.
I would have just been lost and confused for days without Chris in
Yeah,
Japan. So,
you're welcome.
and it without his guidance, I would have been so clueless with the Actress Girls and ARG merch stuff, and that's why I wanted to take my time to go through all that stuff with him. So huge shouts outs to Chris. Thank you
Shouts
again.
outs.
Shouts
Yes,
out.
you're welcome.
Uh, yeah, so thank you for listening. And
Yeah.
I'm not sure if this is going to be a quarterly thing, every Korakuen, every month. I don't know if I'll have Chris on every time. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I want to
Yeah.
get this first episode down
Who
to give you
knows?
a good launching point to get into the promotion. Okay, so I'm going to end up calling it here because after this, Chris and I chatted for a bit more and really ended up just being us catching up. We hadn't seen each other since March, and just really want to thank him for coming on the pod. And I can't think of a better person to kick this off with, and whether or not it's we co-host this forever or he's a guest for shows here and there. I'm not sure, but he provides such a great window into the promotion because he has been a fan for a long time. He goes to a lot of the shows in person in Japan. He goes to stuff like the Count 2.9s, the ARG shows. He really provides a great window into the promotion, and I'm so thankful that we're able to just chat about Actros. So follow him on Twitter at Chris2Klee. I also want to shout out the Strong Stylish crew, Sonoda and Pedro. We had a great time in California, and always thankful of Sonoda for giving me a platform to talk about Actress, a year or so ago. Long conversation with him, and always a great time. And without them, this wouldn't have been possible. And then I also want to shout out the Actress stage crew, Sandra and Velke. They are very knowledgeable, very cool, and Velke pushed me to make this for like a year and a half, and it just took me a while, and he got sick of waiting. He did his own thing, and I really hope that the two podcasts are complementary. That was kind of my goal. You get so much noise and so much crosstalk and all this stuff when you have a bunch of different podcasts for promotion, and kind of just wanted to do something different, take a different approach, and what they do is really cool, and I'm really looking forward to what they say about this show that we just previewed, and I can't wait to hear their review of it. So definitely check them out. They're on YouTube as Actress Stage. And also thank you for listening. If you made it these 2.5 hours deep, really appreciate it. And most importantly, praise Murray.